Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Liberty Sports Park in Brock Hall, Maryland, just outside Washington, D.C. You're watching the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament live right here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. Opening shot, quick shot, and a goal as Team 91 Charlotte Blue, Hayden Bratt, his first goal here in this semifinal, gives Team 91 Charlotte Blue, the 2027 squad, an early 1-0 lead. Right off the face-off. Wins it right to himself and takes it all the way. Didn't even get a chance to introduce our two teams to you, and we have a 1-0 score. Stick side high, nice shot there for the Ambassador Christian High School, Hayden Bratt. As it's Team 91 Charlotte Blue and Team 91 Long Island Rage, representing the class of 2027, the incoming seniors. And now Long Island Rage will look to clear. My name is Ryan Holzbus. Appreciate you joining us this morning here. Our first of 4 games here at the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. A great event here. We have a handful of fields, games going on all over the place. College coaches are here, and these kids trying to impress as well as have some fun here again on this beautiful Sunday, Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. The top 8 teams advance to this championship tournament after playing in a 33-team, 8-group pool play. That was yesterday. Each team played 3 games. Great save by Charlotte Blue. And now heading right to left on your screen are the Team 91 Charlotte Blue. They're in the dark blue. Team 91 Long Island Rage in the white jerseys, white helmets, and orange shorts. As Charlotte Blue backs it out to number 6, Ronan Calloway. Marvin Ridge High School out of Waxhaw, North Carolina. He's committed to Wagner. And Charlotte Blue will control from the point. Ball in the stick of Jacob Carlasio. And he'll hand it off box side. And here's the dodge from Emmett Drensek. Bucknell commit. To his left, Carlasio, the right-handed shot. Believe it was saved, but Charlotte Blue able to recover the loose ball. They play it behind for Stuart Robinson. Robinson, a Hofstra commit. Swung near side, back in the stick, Carlasio. To his right, plays it to his left, and slipped Wesley McCavin. Now swung to the far wing. Dodge to the middle of the field, bounce shot off the mark from Emmett Drensek. For Charlotte Blue, Drensek, a Charlotte Catholic High School incoming senior from Matthews, North Carolina, committed to Bucknell. Nice handle by Ronan Calloway, and played to the point for Wesley McCavin. Now the far side again for Drensek, who dodges east-west towards the middle of the field, sticking his left hand, swung back to the far side. And Wesley McCavin tries to take his defender down the far alley, stripped, and Long Island Rage able to come up with the loose ball. Working his way across midfield, number 60 in white. And early on, despite my prep last night, don't have a 60 in white to call out for you. Long Island Rage will control from the point. Ball in the stick of number 48. That was David Darling, wearing number 48 in white. Darling will dodge east-west to the middle of the field, sticking his left hand. Hands it off to his left. That was for number 22 in white. Now 21 in white working on his defender. Swings it to the near side. It's Daniel Chung. And now Charlotte Blue across midfield. A quick shot saved. And unable to make that second save. And a goal for Charlotte Blue. There were a couple long pulls down on the offensive end. Looks like Hudson Higbee, number 21 for Charlotte Blue. Makes it a 2-0 lead for Team 91 Charlotte. Instead, scratch that. Ronan Calloway, or that was the first save, excuse me, the first shot. And then the rebound by Higbee. Brown commit. Plays his high school lacrosse at the Cannon School. 2-0 lead for Charlotte Blue. We are just about midway through our first quarter. Inside 5 minutes. Clock on your screen shows inside 6, 1 minute difference there. As we are playing 4 10-minute running quarters. Clock stopping on timeouts, dead balls within the final minute, excuse me, if we are in a 2-goal or 1-goal game. Here's William Hughes wearing 9 in blue. Swung to the point here for Charlotte Blue to the near side. And down the near alley. Hands it off behind, goal line extended. And then playing north of goal line extended was 6. That's Landry Struble. Gave us numbers, but a couple shifted numbers. So I'll do my best here to try to call out names for you all watching and listening at home. Swung to the far side. Here's Garrett Vernon, 95 in blue. Went to his right, back to his left, and then swung back to the near side. Sidearm shot off the mark. Landry Struble, the Monmouth commit, plays his high school lacrosse at Charlotte Christian. Team 91 Charlotte Blue will trigger in from the far sideline. We are approaching 3 minutes to play in our opening quarter. Packed sidelines here between fans, college coaches on this beautiful Sunday again. Father's Day 2026. Perfect Sunday for 2026 Crab Feast Tournament, the final of 2 days. Nice defense there by Long Island Rage. 44 in white would be Brett Hansen. Instead, that is Thomas Zarcone, who's wearing 44 in white for Long Island Rage. So scratch that on Hansen. Here's Struble. Works to the middle of the field. Pulls it all the way out for Cooper Show, number 89 in blue. Working on his defender to his right. Plays it below goal line extended behind the cage. Surveying is number 85 in blue. Swung all the way up to the point. This is William Hughes. Back for Show. It's a big dude. He's going to dodge down to his right. Slide came from Long Island Rage. He'll play it behind the goal. As we approach 2 minutes to play here in our opening quarter. 2-0 lead for Team 91 Charlotte Blue. Hayden Bracht, as well as, I believe it was Hudson Higbee. It was the 2 goal scorers for Team 91 Charlotte Blue. They're in no rush here. So we're inside 2 minutes. This is Jason Leonard. As Charlotte Blue makes some changes offensively, getting some new offensive personnel out there for this extended offensive possession. Dodging down the far right alley. If it's number 12, Emmett Drensek. And a unforced turnover. Ball on the ground in front of the Team 91 Long Island Rage goal. Ball still loose. Great ground ball by Charlotte Blue. And a great handle, able to keep the ball in his stick. We will get whistles. Be an infraction called against Charlotte Blue despite the ball going into the back of the net. Approaching a minute. Shot clock violation is the infraction called against Charlotte Blue. Score will remain 2-0. We're inside a minute. As Charlotte Blue has possessed offensively for much of this opening quarter. Again, we're playing 4 quarters, each 10 minutes long. Have about a minute or so break in between. As Long Island Rage, the pull across midfield, a great defensive play along the far sideline. Trent Rash, committed to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, a D2 program. Great job, the long pull along the far sideline, quickly the other way. Number 85 in blue, ball in the back of the net, and a 3-0 lead for Charlotte Blue. See if he can turn his back to us. We'll try to call out a name. Instead, number 85 in blue makes it 3-0, Charlotte Blue. No name on the back of the jersey, so unfortunately can't call him out. That'll bring us to the end of quarter number one. 3-0 lead for Team 91, Charlotte Blue, the class of 2027s, here on this beautiful Sunday, Father's Day. As you're watching the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament from Liberty Sports Park, just outside Washington, D.C., live right here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. It's one of the nation's most prestigious and competitive lacrosse recruiting events. Over 280 college coaches attended a year ago in 2025, including 126 Division I coaches. Did not get a final number for the number of coaches attending here in 2026, but just to my left, I see a Princeton shirt. I see a Manhattan shirt as well. About 8 coaches lined up to our left, and about 3 lined up to our right. As I mentioned off the top, this is our first of 4 games that are streaming live right here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. Next, we'll have a 2028 semifinal right here on Field 8. This is the field we're playing on. And then we'll have the championship for the class of 2027s, followed by the championship for the class of 2028. So our winner of this game will advance to that first championship. I believe that'll be an 11:20 a.m. start. Our start time is 9:10 for this game. 10:20, or I believe 9:10. 10, well, actually, no, we'll just cross that bridge when we get there in terms of game times. Ball out of play along the end line. And defensively, Team 91, Charlotte Blue, will clear. And here for the rest of this game, I'll try to default to just Charlotte Blue and Long Island Rage, as Charlotte Blue looks to clear across midfield. Ball on the stick of Edward Grasty. And across midfield is Higbee. Hudson Higbee, or is that Hudson Higbee 21? Short pole, short stick. Looks like he handed it off. As Bracht will now control from the point. Plays catch with Leonard. '26 is Wesley McAvan, and quick goal here for Charlotte Blue. It's all Charlotte Blue here in this first semifinal. 4-0 lead. Just over a minute into our second quarter as they work quickly. That was Wesley McAvan on that goal. And a scrum for the face-off. Long Island Rage comes up with that ground ball. And Kelly will take it from our near sideline. Now Long Island Rage going to hope to settle in here offensively. Much of the offense in the first quarter was played on this half of the field. Charlotte Blue controlling the possession. Here's Jason LaRosa, Massapequa High School. Played behind for 15 in white, Vincent Ciro. Excuse me, not Vincent Ciro. That's a goalie here on my page, so a shuffle of the jerseys. Number 4, William Glandorf from the far sideline. To Darling. Darling's committed to Pace University. Skip pass across. Not sure if it was intended for 4 in white. He also had 22 in white in the area, cutting towards the middle of the field. Long Island Rage fortunate to keep possession here. LaRosa sticking his left hand down the near alley. Skip pass attempt in front, picked off by the Charlotte Blue goalie. If it's number 24 on my chart, that's Jason Leonard. Charlotte Catholic High School in cage for Charlotte Blue. And now to the far sideline for number 6, who I don't think is Ronan Calloway. I believe we had another number 6, who was Landry Struble, Monmouth commit, wearing 6 in blue. as Charlotte Blue will press the agenda here. Ball on the ground in front of the Long Island Rage goal, and as Rage was trying to clear, ball on the ground, and Charlotte Blue will keep the offensive possession right here. Let's get pass all the way across for Bracht. I'm calling that out. Bracht did not have that opening goal then. We'll have to figure out who number 0 was. Strong dodge to the middle of the field, and even better defense. Triple team there for a moment. 2 Long Island Rage defenders trailing that Charlotte Blue player. Ball on the ground, and our near sideline official will throw his flag. A hold called against Long Island Rage, and that'll put Charlotte Blue on a man up. Here as we're approaching the midway point. We're inside 6 minutes in our second quarter. These are quick games, again, 4 10-minute running quarter games. We will get stoppages if it's a close game inside the final minute. But for the most part, it's quick. Here from Liberty Sports Park in Brock Hall, Maryland. We're just outside Washington, D.C. on this beautiful Sunday. Get another happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. A ton of them here supporting, whether it's their sons, grandsons, also the coaches here on site as well and watching from home. As Charlotte Blue works the ball around. The penalty has released. And didn't exactly get the memo, was number 26 in blue, that we were back to 6-on-6. Nice defensive play by the Long Island Rage player who assumed the defensive spot from midfield. And now Marksbury will control for Long Island Rage. Chase Marksbury, a Ward Melville High School product. Hands it off for Chung. Daniel Chung, committed to the University of Albany, plays his high school lacrosse at Half Hollow Hills West High School. And now Kelly down the far alley. Brady Kelly, Plain Edge High School. As he looks for help. And that shot from Darling, think he got knocked down and blocked by his own teammate. Closest to it along the far sideline in the far corner is Long Island Rage. They'll keep the possession right here. Chung wearing 4 in white, dodging east-west to his left, tried to go off stick side low. Great save for the Team 91 Charlotte Blue goalie. And quickly across midfield. With a bit of an unsettled situation, they'll slow things down and allow themselves to settle in here and have one player go into the box, another go into midfield. A long pole. Charlotte Blue will try to get some offensive personnel on the field as we approach 3 minutes to play in our first half of game number 1 of 4 here from Liberty Sports Park, the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. This is Schreiber. Or Schurer, excuse me. Bowen Schurer, wearing a different jersey number than I have here. A Christ School high school product out of Charleston, South Carolina. Here's 23 in blue, left-handed shot saved, stick side along the hip of the goalie in cage. It's either Jax Wagner or Vincent Ciro, the 2 goalies on the Long Island Rage roster. And now across midfield. William Glandorf, the LIU commit, hands it off. Here's David Darling, sticking his left hand, plays it, and now behind low goal line extended. Nice skip pass, nice handle for Charlotte Blue. The double came on the slide. Now north of goal line extended is Kelly. Darling, one more, swung across, and a left-handed shot blocked by a Charlotte Blue defender. The ball movement, just exquisite here from both these two teams. Long Island Rage showing off right now in this offensive set. As we are inside a minute 30 in our first half. This is La Rosa. For Chung and now Glandorf. Ball on the ground, scooped up by Charlotte Blue. James Palowski out of Charlotte Catholic in Weddington, North Carolina. Picked off by Long Island Rage, and now across midfield, a long pole. Ippolito, Michael Ippolito, a Manhattan University commit and Massapequa High School product. Long Island Rage will settle in here offensively. We're inside a minute. Team 91 Long Island Rage still yet to get on the scoreboard here in our first half of our first of 4 games here from the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. Streaming live right here on US Club Lacrosse YouTube. Make sure to subscribe and follow on Instagram for all the latest from US Club Lacrosse. So left-handed shot was off the mark, and the backup for Long Island Rage. So they'll keep the possession right here. Flying out of his cage. But no save there for Jason Leonard. Would be the number 24 I have on my sheet for Charlotte Blue. In between the pipes. Here's Glandorf. East-west working to his right. Great save by the Charlotte Blue goalie in our final couple seconds in half number 1. 0-0s on our scoreboard. We'll head to this quick 3-minute halftime break. Team 91 Charlotte Blue a 4-0 lead over Team 91 Long Island Rage for the class of 2027s in this semifinal. We're going to step aside momentarily here for halftime and be right back with half number 2. Again, Team 91 Charlotte Blue a 4-0 lead over Team 91 Long Island Rage right here from the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. Back here, ladies and gentlemen, from the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. Live here from Liberty Sports Park in Brock Hall, Maryland. Team 91 Charlotte Blue has a 4-0 lead over Team 91 Long Island Rage after 20 minutes of lacrosse. And our clock already running here from Field 8 at Liberty Sports Park. Looks like we'll be about 25 to 30 seconds in for opening face-off. 4-0 lead for Charlotte Blue. Long Island Rage still looking to get on the scoreboard here in this first semifinal, or the semifinal going on for this 2027's championship bracket. It'll be the only semifinal we cover for the 2027s. The winner will advance to the final. That championship will be our third of 4 games, so called, I believe, 9:40, 10:30, 11:20, 12:10, so in that 11:20 window. So make sure to check back if you're interested in that championship contest. Left-handed shot saved by the Charlotte Blue goalie. I heard someone yell, "Go Jamison," so we're going to say that's Jamison Dow in goal for Team 91 Charlotte Blue, Lehigh commit. And now Long Island Rage looking to clear across midfield. Ball off the head of the stick of the long pole along our near sideline. Will be an unforced turnover. Charlotte Blue will take over. So we are 2 minutes through our third quarter. Quarter number 1 was all Charlotte Blue. And back and forth quarter number 2, Long Island Rage still unable to get on the scoreboard. But a good contest nonetheless. Charlotte Blue has put up goals here in this tournament. Yesterday they had a great day. What a save there for Long Island Rage. I heard yeah, Jax. So that's Jax Wagner, Penn State Harrisburg commit, in between the pipes for Team 91 Long Island Rage. Now Long Island Rage will control and make some changes offensively. But Charlotte Blue yesterday ran through their 3 games, 11-0 over Thunder Orange, 13-1 win over Florida Crabs, and a 14-2 win versus MLA. And earlier this morning in their quarterfinal, a 5-4 win over True National Black, as Charlotte Blue tries to get to the championship for the upper bracket for the incoming seniors 2027 class. As for Long Island Rage, as Kelly will curl back to his right. Nice skip pass, and now a skip across. Behind the cage. Ball on the stick of number 15, but it's not 0. Let's call it 15 in white. Here's 60 in white. Left-handed shot knocked down by Jamison Dow in between the goal pipes for Charlotte Blue. The Long Island Rage also won all 3 of their games yesterday. 8-3 over 3D Upstate Blue, 10-0 over Advance NDP White, and then 4-3 versus HHH. And then earlier this morning, a 6-4 win over Advance Black. Long Island Rage out of Comac, New York on Long Island. Charlotte Blue based in Charlotte, North Carolina. For collegiate coaches to our right, we have 2, 4, 6, 7 seated, or call it 6 seated to our left, and a cameraman on site here for this 2026 Crab Feast tournament. Long Island Rage still trying to get on the scoreboard here as we approach 5 minutes left to play. That right-handed shot off the mark. Closest to it, Long Island Rage, then they'll trigger in from the end line. Quick slide came and ball dislodged. Scrum for the loose ball and a great ground ball in the far corner by 23 in white. Jason LaRosa from Massapequa High School. And a right-handed shot stings the far corner. Heard it from all the way over here along the near sideline. Looks like it might be Enright who the Long Island Rage players were celebrating there with that goal. But what a ground ball by LaRosa with 2 defenders in his grill. And then quickly Long Island Rage works it around the perimeter. And back to Enright, the right-handed finish. Enright, a Massapequa High School product, and Long Island Rage comes up with the ensuing face-off. And now the ball out of play along the far sideline, right in front of the Charlotte Blue sideline. 4-1 lead for Charlotte Blue. 4 minutes left to play in our third quarter. Here's Drensek. Able to get past his defender. Right hand free and a bounce shot saved by Wagner. Able to parry it and get back on it. And now Long Island Rage will look to clear. Dangerous pass in the middle of the field. And the ball back on the ground. However, recovered by Long Island Rage. Charlotte Blue working hard on the ride. We have a long pole in blue across midfield. Almost offsides along the far sideline, but Long Island Rage able to get onsides. And now here's Charlotte Blue. Unsettled situation. Skip pass in front, unable to control number 42 in blue in the middle of the field. 13 in white looking for help. He'll now jog towards our near sideline. It's Ippolito. And Ippolito across midfield looking for help. Ball on the ground and scooped up by Charlotte Blue. We'll get a whistle from our near sideline official. It'll keep the possession right here with Long Island Rage. So we're inside 3 minutes, 4-1 Charlotte Blue lead. Inside 3 minutes in our third quarter. Long Island Rage could use a goal here to cut the deficit down to 2 goals. This is William Glandorf, Mount Sinai High School LIU commit. Working against a shorty behind the goal. Nice skip pass in front and an even nicer cut towards cage. Aiden Enright, Massapequa High School, his first goal here in this semifinal, and it's a 4-2 lead for Charlotte Blue. Inside 2 minutes in our third quarter, Long Island Rage able to do that, cut the deficit down to 2 with just over 11 minutes left to play. Infraction on the face-off. Long Island Rage possession. So we approach a minute left to play in quarter number 3. An opportunity to make this a 1-goal game. And what would be 3 unanswered for Long Island Rage. Thus far, they've scored 2 unanswered to make this a 2-goal game. .23 in white takes his defender behind the goal. Now back north to GLE. Chung with the fake shot. Sticking his left hand, leans in his defender and finds the near pipe. Ball will carry him all the way to the far sideline. A dive for the sideline. Closest to it wins possession, and it's going to be a Charlotte Blue possession right in front of their bench. Great hustle from both players. And now working to get across midfield, able to do just that. Trying to go over the head against Drensek. Nice job by Drensek to protect his stick. And now Struble will pull it out to the near high corner. 10 seconds left here in quarter number 3. 5 seconds. Charlotte Blue needs to work quickly here and try to get a shot on goal. Skip pass. Long goal line extended in the right-handed shot just off the mark. Nice find there by Hayden Bracht. We'll get a quick look at that last goal. Here it is. You didn't see the feed, but it was a great feed and an even better cut there by Enright. Quick stick finish. We have a 2-goal game. 4-2 Charlotte Blue leads with 10 minutes of lacrosse left to play. It'll be a full running quarter unless we get to the final 2 minutes. or excuse me, if we get to the final minute, and if this score stands, or if we have a similar 2-goal margin, we will get stoppages in that final minute. But unless we see that, it'll be a running clock here for our final quarter. Here's a full look at that last goal. Great feed in front. Great finish by Enright on the catch and release. Starts with that feed, though. Dodging against the short stick, I believe, is what it was. Head up. Eyes surveying in front of the Team 91 Charlotte Blue goal. And a great finish there by, I believe it was Enright. It was Aiden Enright, the Massapequa High School product. And we go back to the face-off. Ryan Chavis from Massapequa High School. And this is number 98 in blue for Charlotte Blue. Ball on the ground following the face-off. As the boxes release. A great ground ball there for Daniel Chung. And Long Island Rage will have the first possession here in quarter number 4. David Darling matched up with the short stick down the near left alley, sticking his left hand. Now working east-west towards the middle of the field was Enright. Scored the last goal for Long Island Rage there in quarter number 3. They've scored 2 unanswered. Here's Chung, sticking his left hand, backing down the long stick defender, and takes a pop there after he let that shot go, and a flag comes in. Working hard there was Daniel Chung as he worked east-west towards the middle of the field, got the shot off, and then after letting it go, took a big pop, ended up flat on his back, and draws some dirty laundry. And a man-up opportunity here for Long Island Rage, an opportunity to cut the deficit to 1. So a chance here in quarter number 4 to see this Long Island Rage man-up unit. It's a quick power play here at this Crab Feast tournament. As Long Island Rage pings the ball around the perimeter. Skip pass to the point. Kelly for Enright. He's going to load up and fire. Sticking his right hand, shot just wide of the far pipe. David Darling will trigger in from the far sideline for Long Island Rage. Seven and a half minutes left to play. Here's LaRosa. To Glandorf and now Kelly. Penalty has released. We're back to all even 6-on-6. Enright, no look pass behind the cage. And now Chung below goal line extended. Plays it to the far wing. And that left-handed shot from Darling just off the mark. Enright will re-enter play from the end line. Here's Glandorf, wearing 40 in white. Plays it to Kelly. Back to Glandorf. Sticking his right hand, split to his left, put the stick back in his right hand, and right in front of the goal, the crease area, Glandorf, a bounce shot goes, and we've got a 1-goal lacrosse game. Great finish there by Glandorf. Had the stick in his right hand, he split to his left. We're going to see the replay right here. See it right here, loads up. Split to his left, and then gets the stick back to his right to increase that angle. And then goes stick side low with the bounce shot to beat, I believe that was Jamison Dow in between the goal pipes. It is for Charlotte Blue. Ball on the ground. A scrum for it. Long Island Rage trailing by a goal could really use the loose ball right here. Ball still loose and recovered by Long Island Rage. And it will be a loose ball push. I believe it's a turnover. Charlotte Blue will now possess offensively. I believe it was a loose ball push called against Long Island Rage as we're hitting the 5:30 mark in our fourth quarter. One goal game here from Field 8 at Liberty Sports Park, the 2028 Crab Feast Tournament. Behind the cage, working as the short stick. Now Bracht loads up, fakes the shot. Left-handed finish, stick side, low. Call it his first goal here in this semifinal. Back to a 2-goal lead for Charlotte Blue. It's 5-3 inside 5 minutes. Five-3 lead for Charlotte Blue now. Ends the 3-goal run by Long Island Rage here in our second half. Landry Struble, Monmouth commit, will back it out all the way to the far sideline. Charlotte Blue in no rush, a 2-goal lead, trying to protect and get to the championship game for the championship bracket, as all 33 teams from the class of 2027 pool play advance to some sort of bracket. This being the championship bracket. That was a stinger right-handed shot from the far sideline, caught the near pipe, Leonard with the goal. Jason Leonard, Charlotte Catholic product from Charlotte, North Carolina. And now a 3-goal game as we approach 3 minutes to play. Quick catch, one cradle. Quick release there from Leonard. His first goal in this semifinal. Charlotte Blue in control. Now 2 unanswered in this battle between Team 91 programs. Long Island Rage looking to get one of those goals back. Here's LaRosa. Down the near alley, sticking his left hand and right, looking for a feed in front. Plays it to Kelly at the point. He's going to split to his left. Left-handed shot, and what a save by, that was Jamison Dow. Off stick side low, and he got his stick head on it. Had to go to the splits to knock that one away. Ball out of play along the end line, far corner. And Long Island Rage will trigger it in as they keep possession. Now trying to get to that 5-5. And a nice save by Dow. Greater defensive play, however. And Charlotte Blue will now look to clear defensively to midfield. We hit the 2-minute mark here in our fourth quarter. Long pass across midfield. Finds the stick of 23 in blue. That is, I believe, Jacob Carlasio it is. Committed to Anderson University in South Carolina. Plays his high school lacrosse at Lake Norman Charter High School. Here's Hayden Bracht, near sideline. Has a goal here in this fourth quarter. Working east-west. Plays it to his left to the far sideline. Charlotte Blue playing a bit of keep away here as we approach 1 minute left to play. Now Long Island Rage going with 7 on 6 defensively. Goalie out of the cage and double teaming the ball as Bracht goes for a full ride all the way around, goes back to where he started along the far sideline. Inside 45 seconds to play. A 3-goal lead for Charlotte Blue. As they will be looking to move on to the championship game in about an hour and a half or so. Make sure to tune in right here, U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel for that championship game. Be an 11:20 start right here from Field 8 for the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament Crown. Inside 5 seconds, it'll be a 6-3 win for Team 91 Charlotte Blue. And some highlights here to follow after our first of 4 games. We want to thank you all for watching and listening along with us. Again, my name is Ryan Holzbus, joined by Zach Morgan and Ryan DePaul and Artie Plex production here from Liberty Sports Park. We have another game to follow at 10:30 start right here from Field 8. But some highlights in the interim. And we'll see you, ladies and gentlemen, on the next broadcast live right here from Liberty Sports Park in Brock Hall, Maryland. Yeah, you can give me live. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. We're at the Liberty Sports Park in Brock Hall, Maryland, just outside Washington, D.C., and you're watching live right here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. My name's Ryan Holzbus. I'm joined by Zach Morgan and Ryan DePaul, Artie Plex production here from Liberty Sports Park. Again, the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament, and we're on to the 2028 Elite Class for the incoming juniors. One of two semifinals going on here from Liberty Sports Park for the 2028s. Winner will advance to the championship, which we played right here on Field 8, 12-10, and right here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. That'll be our fourth and final game on this beautiful Sunday, Father's Day, here from just outside Washington, D.C. Happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. A ton of them lining the sidelines here, both coaches, parents, grandfathers here supporting their sons, grandsons. A crease dive violation. Mad Lax almost had their first goal on the scoreboard. As it is, Mad Lax Capital 2028 Elite versus Advanced NDP Black 2028 Elite program. It's Mad Lax in the blue jerseys, white shorts. Advanced Black in the white jerseys, white helmets, and the turquoise blue shorts. Here's 23 in white for Advanced Black. Now 32, Logan Mack dodging to his left. Long pole still out there for Advance. And off the bar, ball on the ground. And loose ball recovered by the Mad Lax goalie. That was 24, the goalie for Mad Lax. Do my best to call out names and numbers for you all listening at home, or watching and listening, I should say, as we are 2 minutes through our second of 4 games. I was given numbers ahead of time, but I'm already again realizing as I did in our first game, not all the numbers match the last names on the jersey. So we'll do my best to fill you in on names and numbers for you. We got a momentary stoppage. Advance will clear there with number 18 in white along the far sideline. May or may not be Marshall Dunn for Advance. Again, I'm already seeing some Advance jerseys, names that don't match the numbers. We will play on. As for Mad Lax, I don't have names on the back jersey numbers, so we'll hope that these jersey numbers match. Extended stoppage here. Not too sure what our holdup is. Our clock is stopped at 7:56. Looks like they're trying to fix a hole in the net to our right. Or at minimum, just try to protect or try to, again, protect the goalie, but try to hide the, looks like they got some clippings to keep the goal on. Advance NDP Black, the number 2 seed out of the 2028 Elite Pool Play. They took down Thunder Orange 14-2, BTB Black by a score of 10-1. And then Project Missouri State, they won 6-3 yesterday, 3-0 day. And then a win over GWB Pacific to get to this semifinal. As for Mad Lax Capital, a 7-5 win over Team 91 Carolina Cannons, 12-4 over True National Green, and an 11-1 win over Albany Power to wrap up their Saturday. And then a victory versus Resolute Ohio Black, sort of an upset. Number 6 seed beating a number 3 seed to get to this semifinal for Mad Lax Capital. As Advance plays it behind the cage. Ball in the stick of number 23 in white. Pass in front and a finish. 13 in white right on the doorstep. Quick catch and release. It's Enzio Fedrizzi. Great flash from the middle of the field and a behind the back finish. Missed that on the initial shot. Great shot, great goal there for Advance Black. They take a 1-0 lead as we approach the midway point. Or excuse me, approach 6 minutes left to play here. We're at the 6:30 mark currently. 4 10-minute quarters. They're running quarters unless we get to the final minute and we have a 1 or 2 goal lacrosse game. As Advance comes up with the loose ball, now Mad Lax scoops it up, however the ball back on the ground. An Advance NDP National Development Program comes up with that loose ball and will now look to clear across midfield. Play it through the goalie, who inched his way towards midfield, finds a teammate across midfield along the near sideline. However, Advance throws it away. Mad Lax will now clear from there. Defensive third. Trailing by a goal as we approach the midway point in our opening quarter. Mad Lax goalies are Ben Pensy as well as Liam Brown. It's number 24 in between the pipes for Mad Lax, but both Pensy and Brown do not have number 24 on my roster chart, so we'll go with it. One of those two is, I should say, the current Mad Lax goalie. 8 in blue from the point, working against a short stick. Now swung to the near side. Ball on the ground. Nice strip there by Advance. Number 71 in white will try to catch his last name as he comes across midfield. Unsettled situation here for Advance. That's 71, I believe, Patrick Lanigan as he heads off the field. Or possibly Drew Lorang. It was one of those two. I saw an L with the last name. Now Mad Lax across midfield. Trailing by a goal, 4:20 left to play in our opening quarter. Nice skip pass across and I believe a save there by the Advance goalie. And no backup there for Mad Lax. Possession will head the other way with Advance. Nice skip pass in front, but believe that the Advance goalie got a piece of it. Now Advance will look to clear across midfield. Nice job there by Rutherford. Axton Rutherford, pole across midfield. He's now stripped as he was around the GLE of Mad Lax. And now attempting a cross-field clear, unsuccessful. And now Advance trying to play it to an attackman ball. Kept in play along the far sideline, a scrum for it. And Advance, a long pole across midfield, will come up with the loose ball, and now Advance able to settle in offensively as we approach 3 minutes to play in our opening quarter. 1-0 lead for Advance NDP Black 2028 Elite. Scored 30 goals yesterday alone, allowed just 6. Team that can put up goals in bunches and plays tight defense as well. Limits the scoring from their opposition. Left-handed bounce finish past the Mad Lax goalie. Now a 2-0 lead for Advance. Try to call out the goal scorer momentarily here on the replay. It was 43 in white. Caught it in his right hand, got it back to his left as he worked through the stick checks. Connor Thompson with a nice goal. Gives his team a 2-0 lead. As we hit the 2-minute mark here in our opening quarter of play. Mad Lax will come up with the face-off win, almost throwing it away along our near sideline, but number 33 able to run down that loose ball, and then he was looking for a teammate in the middle of the field, unable to connect that pass. And now the ball in the stick of the advanced goalie, number 67 in white. Again, either Parker Lee or Jake Kalklischer, the two goalies for Advanced NDP Black 2028 Elite. And now across midfield, ball on the stick of, that's Drew Lorang. So he'll hand it off for a teammate and head to the sideline. Six and white from the far sideline. Draws the short stick matchup from the far high corner of the restraining box. Skip pass across to the near side, and ball jarred loose, and Mad Lax Capital defender comes up with the loose ball. Unsettled situation, Mad Lax in transition. Pass just behind the Mad Lax player at midfield, who's number 98 in blue. Fortunately, able to knock it down. That'll keep the possession right here with Mad Lax Capital. Inside 30 seconds in our opening quarter of play. 11 in blue. Back to 38 or 32 in blue. I heard it go Ryland. This should be Ryland Hoy. Puts the stick in his left hand. Skip pass in front. And teammate unable to come up with it. A scrum for the loose ball along the end line. And we had a whistle from our official here at midfield near sideline. Mad Lax will keep the possession as our clock hits triple zeros. A shutout here in quarter number one for Advanced NDP Black, the 2028 Elite squad. The number 2 ranked team out of pool play for the 2028 Elite bracket, or I should say the 2028 Elite pool here at this tournament. 2026 Crab Feast Tournament from Liberty Sports Park in Brock Hall, Maryland. We're at Field 8, streaming to you 4 games on this beautiful Sunday, June the 21st, Father's Day. Another happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. So we'll be back to action here momentarily. A quick stoppage in between quarters. It was Team 91 Charlotte Blue. Got a big win in our first of 4 games here from Field 8, live on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube page. It's a win over Team 91 Long Island Rage. Those were for the incoming seniors, class of 2027. As right now you're watching the incoming juniors, class of 2028. These kids to begin their junior seasons this coming fall. Advanced NDP, a national program drawing talent from across the country. As for Mad Lax Capital, focused in the D.C., Northern Virginia, and Maryland areas. An infraction on the face-off called against Advance. Mad Lax will start quarter number 2 with possession. As 28 in blue, or excuse me, 20 in blue, works to try to get a touch in the restraining box. Believe they do need to do so, and maybe not, as Mad Lax seemingly in no rush to get that touch in the restraining box within the 10-second window. Nice skip pass and a great save by Advance. Looked like that was off stick side low and able to get a left knee on. It was the Advance goalie wearing 67 in white. And he'll now clear, or begin the clear, I should say. And now across midfield, the pole. It's Preston True, wearing 22 in white for Advance. Goalie for Advance, he just turned his back to me. It's not Lee. It's going to be Jake Kolklischer. So a great save there by Jake Kolklischer, and a goal down the other end for Advance. It's 43 in white. Turn your back to me, my friend, so we can call your name out. Now I'll grab it on the replay right here. I believe that's Thompson. Connor Thompson would be his second goal if it is. And a 3-0 lead for Advance Black. Face-off won by Advance. So they look to make this a 3-0 lead. Or excuse me, look to make it 4-0 as it's currently 3-0. To the point for Drew Christensen. Wears 8 in white. Now Hansen, he's matched up with a short stick. From midfield here near sideline. He'll take his defender towards goal line extended along our near sideline. You see the handful of coaches here scouting, recruiting at this event. Left-handed shot from Hansen, just off the mark, wide of the near pipe. Back up by Advance Black, who will keep the possession right here. We do have a broken stick, which will bring us to a momentary stoppage. Player with the broken stick for Mad Lax hustled right off. Skip pass in front and dislodged as 77 in white was trying to get to a good shooting spot. Just trying to increase his angle and get closer to the cage as Mad Lax clears across midfield. Trailing by 3 as we approach 6 minutes left to play here in our first half of game number 2 of 4. Out of the box quick, number 27 or 21 in blue, and he took a stick check after he finished. No flag, no whistle following the goal. We'll get a momentary stoppage as we hit the 6-minute mark. Here's the replay. Came flying out of the box here. It was number 27 in blue, and I think he took a stick around the midsection. He's still down on his back, slow to get up. Looks like no infractions handed out, so we'll stay all even, 6-on-6. And great to see the goal scorer for Mad Lax able to get up to his feet and jog off. Might be Kai Prinsback. 27, I heard go Aiden. Let's see, I have Aiden Solis. He's a face-off man, so he's likely here taking this next face-off. But a great goal there for Mad Lax. Makes it a 3-1 lacrosse game as we're inside 6 minutes to play here in our first half. Nice stick there by 34 in blue. And then takes his counterpart to the turf, draws a whistle. Possession will stay right here with Advance. Wilson West, wearing 27 in white. Nice job by Advance to keep the possession right here. And a skip pass attempt. Unable to connect there for Advance. Mad Lax will now clear from the near corner. Deep in their defensive third. We're inside 4:30 to play. 2-goal lacrosse game. And it's 33 in blue across midfield. Cooper Petruzzi. Heard a couple yeah Coopers, so I appreciate the supporters here for Mad Lax. If only they could give me a yeah, drop first name each time. That would be very helpful if anybody's listening behind me. 3-1 lacrosse game inside 4 minutes here in our first half. Ball down. And recovered by Mad Lax. They'll keep the offensive possession right here. Right-handed shot. Caught a pipe. And ricochets wide. Mad Lax Capital with the backup. 8 in blue will trigger it in from the end line. Mad Lax swings it to the far wing. 2 in blue. Advance brought the double team and now recovers defensively. Advance gets the ball to the point. Left-handed shot from number 10 in blue, saved by Jake Koklischer. And the ball will skirt its way out of play. Unforced turnover by Advance. Or actually, I'll retract there. I was looking away from the play. Not sure if it was forced or unforced. Nonetheless, Mad Lax Capital will take over and control. 2:30 left to play here in half number 1 from Field 8 at the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. 29 teams and 7 groups for the 2028 Elite Group made their way here to this top-seeded 8 teams for the championship tournament bracket. Kolkischer made a nice save, and now the clear worked through Kolkischer. Advance will clear along the near sideline. Great hustle there by U. Rutledge U for Advance. U now looking for help. Finds it in the form of... That's Connor Thompson, has 2 of the 3 goals here this morning for Advance. Shot off the mark. Advance will keep the ball right here offensively with the backup and trigger in from the end line. 23 in white takes the pick. Working to his left. Now swung all the way to the point. Dodging to his right was 6 in white. Now back to his left. .32 able to get his left hand free and just off the mark. That was Logan Mack. Advance with the backup, keeps the offensive possession here. 13 in white prodding. Double team came quick from Mad Lax. Now swung to the point and to the far side. Left-handed shot fired wide. Out of the stick of 32 in white. Here's 13. Heard a couple go Graysons. That's... Let's see, where's Grayson? Maybe that was for Mad Lax coming from the fans to my right behind me. Inside 10 seconds here in our first half. Snuck up on us here. 6 in white lets a left-handed shot go wide of the far pipe. And that'll bring us to the end of our first half. A 3-1 lead for Advance Black after 20 minutes of lacrosse. A quick 3-minute halftime break. And we will be right back with half number 2, live right here from the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament, live on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel.
I could use it. Here we go. First name every time. I could use it, please. Nope, nobody's even listening. Okay. What a beautiful day.
Back here for half number 2, ladies and gentlemen. As you are watching the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. This is the Class of 2028 Elite Semifinal. And quarter number 3 starts off in a flash. That is Ritzer. Beckett Ritzer, his first goal here in this semifinal. And advance quickly, a 4-1 lead to start our second half. Straight off the face-off. Left hand free, about 5 yards of space all around, and Ritzer takes that real estate, and a great finish. Aiden Solis with the face-off win. He wears 4 in blue. Loose ball. Making its way into our cameraman, almost running into Ryan DePaul. He was saying, careful, careful, careful. Fortunately, they did listen as the ball made its way out of play. Advance. Fast break and a long pole sails a shot over the crossbar. Almost right into our little production setup here from our opposite sideline of the team sidelines and at midfield. Great heads up by the players to hear the pleads from our cameraman, Ryan DePaul. Careful, careful, careful. Fortunately, everybody okay. And that shot off the mark. Advance trying to add to their 3-goal lead. So we're approaching 2 minutes through quarter number 3. 4 collegiate coaches to my right. I got 5 to our left. And hopefully many watching alongside of us. And I'm doing my best here to try to get you names here from this one of 2 semifinals. There's another semifinal going on for the Class of 2028 Elite this championship bracket. Championship to be played at 12:10 p.m. Eastern. Loose ball scrum in the near corner. Defensive half for Mad Lax Capital. And we'll get a whistle from our official right there on the scene. 3 white jerseys, 4 blue jerseys in the area. And it will be advance offensively to keep possession. Currently hold a 3-goal lead. Unable to connect there on that pass. Nice job by Thompson to run down the loose ball before it got to midfield. Connor Thompson, 2 goals here in this semifinal. Back to Thompson. Has the short stick matchup. Dodges to his right, looking for a feed in front. Instead plays it behind GLE to a teammate along the end line. Back to 23. Hard foot in the ground and back to his right. One-handed cradle, hands it off for 32. Sweeping east-west, left-handed shot just high over the crossbar. Have an advanced player getting his shoe back on as we approach 6 minutes left to play here in quarter number 3. 4-1 lead for advance. Nice handle. Back to the point for 77. A shot blocked and knocked down before getting to the Mad Lags goalie. It's either Ben Pensy or Liam Brown in between the pipes for Mad Lags Capital. 98 in blue, able to get across midfield. And now Mad Lax Capital making substitutions, get offensive personnel out there. Trailing by 3 goals. Looking to try to cut the deficit to 2 goals. As we approach the midway point here in quarter number 3. Playing catch and then a handoff for 19 in blue. Swung to the near side, ball in the stick of 45 in blue for Mad Lax. Long skip pass, nice handle by 27. A lot of white jerseys had sticks up in the air. It was a Canadian finish there. Ball stick in his right hand, however, an offhand finish. Cool kids call that like a Canadian pass, Canadian finish. Advance now looking to clear. Ball on the ground. Great check there by Mad Lax Capital defensively, but Kincaid for advance, able to collect and keep possession. That's Everett Kincaid. Wearing, what was that, 91 or 92, or maybe that was him over there, 23 in white. Hands it off for 87 in white along the far sideline. As I said, we got 3 collegiate coaches to my right. I see a Navy shirt. Naval Academy have a handful of coaches as well along the far sideline. And then supporters behind us, behind the fence. Bunch of games going on. I didn't get a count on how many fields. I see a number 9 behind us, so maybe 9 fields out here. 10 fields, thank you, Zach. Appreciate that. 10 fields here at Liberty Sports Park, and we got a game going on each of them. This is field 8. Big field to watch here. 2 semifinals. This is the second that we're covering here live right on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and follow on Instagram. And then following this one, we will have the 2027 championship. Team 91 Charlotte Blue, one of the 2 teams competing. And then at 12:10 p.m. Eastern, we'll have our 4th and final game streaming live on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. We'll feature our winner as well as the other semifinal winner as Mad Lax Capital across midfield and unable to connect passes. It was 45 in blue who was unable to receive the pass along the near sideline. Unforced turnover. Advance will trigger in from the near sideline. New goalie is Parker Lee for advance. 3 minutes left to play here in quarter number 3. 4-1 lead for Advance NDP Black. Their 2028 elite squad. Ball to play. Unforced turnover along the far sideline. Right in front of the Mad Lax Capital bench, and they'll quickly initiate from right there. And scratch that. Far sideline official will whistle them back and restart play from the defensive half for Mad Lax of midfield. Skip pass in front. It's a nice idea, but unable to connect. Nice job by 45 in blue to run down the loose ball before it made its way out of play along our near sideline. Quickly, Mad Lax works the possession to the far sideline and now behind GLE. Now north of goal line extended. 32 in blue. Nice save by Parker Lee. Stick side high, stick right there to snag that shot. As we approach a minute left to play in our third quarter, 3-goal lead here for Advance. Long, clearing pass across midfield. Finds the stick of Emmett Coyle. He was number 18 in white who delivered that long pass. '18 in white. I have Marshall Dunn on my roster, and I believe he didn't turn his back, but it looked like a short last name, so we'll credit Marshall Dunn with that nice clearing pass to Emmett Coyle along the near sideline. Gives Advance an opportunity to add one more goal here before the third quarter buzzer sounds. Currently a 4-1 lead inside 45 seconds. From the far sideline, 43 in white. Double team, triple team came, and there was even a fourth defender in the area. Advance quickly swings it to the near sideline, then back to the far sideline. Right-handed shot off the mark. Believe it was saved. Goalie well out of his crease. Now looking for help. He will get a whistle, a push called against Mad Lax. So Advance will take over. Quick shot right before the third quarter buzzer sounded. And that'll bring us to the end of quarter number 3. 4-1 lead for Advance NDP Black, their 2028 elite team. Trying to get to the championship game here for the upper bracket for the class of 2028 elites. Again, that game to be played at 12:10 p.m. Eastern right here from Field 8. You're watching the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament live right here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. Crab Feast Tournament, one of the nation's most prestigious and competitive lacrosse recruiting events in 2025. Over 280 college coaches attended, including over 120 Division I coaches. Didn't get a final number here for 2026, but would have to imagine a great turnout. Not just today, but yesterday. Each team played 3 games yesterday. And also the semifinal games and championships streaming live right here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. Team 91 Charlotte Blue, and it looks like we got a affirmative here from Leading Edge, class of 2027. They'll be on next. Leading Edge makes their way behind us. Again, that's for the class of 2027s, the incoming seniors. Be Leading Edge and Team 91 Charlotte Blue. That game to start at, what did I say before, 11:20? Does that sound right, Zach? Sure, yeah. Right enough? Close enough, yeah. Is this one continuous stream? Pretty much, yeah. one continuous stream. So make sure to check back around 11:20 for all you that want to check in for that 2027 championship. Mad Lax, trailing by 3 goals here in quarter number 4, wins the opening faceoff to get us started here in our 4th and final quarter of game 2 of 4 on this beautiful Sunday, Father's Day. Another happy Father's Day to all the dads out there watching and listening along with us. Again, my name Ryan Holzbus, joined by Zach Morgan, our producer, Ryan DePaul, cameraman, and RD Plex production here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. Mad Lax trying to cut the deficit. Currently a 3-goal margin in the 2028 Elite semifinal. Winner moves on to the 2028 Elite Championship, which will be streamed live right here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. So make sure for all you supporters of the winning team to check back to this stream around 12-ish p.m. Eastern. I think it's 12:10 is our tentative start time. Thompson, 2 goals here this morning. Wears 43 in white. And ball thrown away. Mad Lax will take over in their defensive third and trigger in from the end line. Already a minute and a half through this 4th quarter. In trouble is 20 in blue. I heard Grayson. So we'll call out Grayson Kalk, short stick defensive midfielder for Mad Lax Capital. And I believe an offsides called against Mad Lax Capital as they are making their way across midfield. Unforced turnover, and Advance will take over. Here's Thompson. As Advance makes one last offensive change. We're all even 6-on-6 inside 8 minutes left to play. Advance came into this semifinal. They scored 20 goals yesterday in their 3 wins. Allowed just 6, so this is fairly on par in terms of the 1 goal against right now. I didn't catch the final score there in their win over GWP Pacific in their quarterfinal game. Loose ball as Mad Lax was getting across midfield. I believe it's going to be an offsides called against Advance. Mad Lax will have a free clear and will kickstart play from the offensive half of midfield. Inside 7 minutes here from Field 8 at Liberty Sports Park. One of 2 semifinals for the 2028 Elite Championship bracket here at the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. Mad Lax needs to come up with some goals here in the final 6 minutes, 30 seconds. They want a chance to play in that championship game for the 2028 Elites. Almost lost possession there. It was number 8 in blue. Nice job of regaining. Heard Sam. It's going to be Sam Nyland. Ball on the ground. And recovered by Advance. Nice check there by Mad Lax. Ball still on the ground. And a ball out of bounds. Looks like Nyland, 8 in blue for Mad Lax, played with it and stepped out of bounds as he scooped up the loose ball. So a turnover. Advance will take over and now clear through goalie Parker Lee. And clearing across midfield, that's 22 in white for Advance. And it'll be a timeout called by Advance. 5:36 is where our clock stops here in quarter number 4. It's a quick timeout. Only 45 seconds before our clock will begin to run again. Already hear the officials yelling out 30 seconds left on this timeout. Try to keep these games moving. It was Advance that called that timeout. Advance. Stops our clock at 5 minutes, 36 seconds. As we're back to it here, inside 6 minutes, approaching the midway point here in quarter number 4. Advance looking to add to their 3-goal lead, and they do right there. Bounce shot goes for, that's number 43, a hat-trick goal for Connor Thompson. Let me confirm it's Connor Thompson before I fully give it to him. It is. Hat-trick goal for Connor Thompson. Has scored 3 of the 5 here for Advance in this morning's semifinal. And Advance will win the ensuing face-off. Kicked into the near corner, defensive corner for Advance. So now they have to connect some passes to clear across midfield. Ground ball scooped up by the Mad Lags goalie, and now a loose ball. And a scrum for it, recovered by Advance. And a tackle there, basically by, who's that, 34 in blue. Took his defender down to the ground. Be just a quick restart for Advance, possessing offensively. Inside 4 minutes left to play. And again, this is one of 2 semifinals for the 2028 Elites. Advance in no rush with their 4-goal lead. Take it into the near corner. 91 takes a pick. I believe Advance needs to keep the ball in the restraining box here with this 4-goal lead. .13 in white, stripped as he made his way towards cage. Loose ball recovered by Madlax, below goal line extended. So we approach 2 minutes left to play. Madlax Capital looking to add another goal here before the end of this semifinal. Able to clear across midfield. Finds a long pole, 34 in blue, and then unable to connect the pass, but 2 in blue able to recover. Colton Maddox is who I have, number 2 in blue for Madlax. Here's 27 in blue from the far alley. Inside 2 minutes. Unable to connect the pass in front. Ball loose and recovered by Advance. And now to clear across midfield. Again, we're inside 2 minutes to play in our semifinal. Drew Christensen will control and hand it off for Thompson. Hat trick, scored 3 of the 5 goals here for Advance in this semifinal contest. So we quickly approach a minute left to play. No look pass and shot saved by the Mad Lags goalie. He's wearing number 0. Again, it's either Ben Pensy or the other goalie for Mad Lax Capital, Liam Brown. Inside a minute here in one of the 2 semifinals for the class of 2028 Elite Championship bracket. And a great save by Parker Lee. Keeps the score 5-1. And now Advance will look to try to get it across midfield and run out this clock and prepare for the championship game around 12:10 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. Next up, we have Team 91 Charlotte Blue, the top-ranked team from the class of 2027s, taking on Leading Edge Lacrosse, the number 3 ranked team from the class of 2027s. Inside the final 5 seconds, and that'll do it here for this semifinal. Advance NDP Black 2028 Elite, moving on to the 2028 Elite Championship game, which again will be played right here at Field 8 and streamed live right here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. That game to start at 12:10 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see some highlights here from this contest. No highlights, Zach?
Well, we have highlights, but highlights will start the next game.
Highlights will start at the top of the next game because we are short on time. I believe this 11:20 is where we're at right now. Our championship game for the 2027 is supposed to start here at 11:20, so likely that we will be going very soon for that next contest. So make sure to check back in. We'll step aside for now. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament, and it is a championship game. Class of 2027 is the incoming seniors. We've made it all the way to the end. Charlotte Blue 2027, the top-ranked team out of the pool play for the class of 2027s. They meet Leading Edge Lacrosse 2027, third-ranked team out of that pool play yesterday. And they advance through their quarterfinal and semifinal games this morning to reach this championship game. Got some help. If you've been with us for the semifinal games, I've had some differences in numbers and names, but we should be all good. A gentleman came over and gave me some game day rosters, so hoping to, for the recruiting purposes, make sure we get names correct throughout this championship game. Third of 4 games that we have streaming live on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe and follow the Instagram, U.S. Club Lax. My name's Ryan Holzbus. This is an RD Plex production led by Ryan DePaul. He's your cameraman. And Zach Morgan, producer here from Field 8 at Liberty Sports Park in Brock Hall, Maryland. In this championship game, as you see on your screen, Charlotte Blue in all blue, taking on Leading Edge. They're in all white with the red helmets. 0-0 through our first minute and a half. And Charlotte Blue will race across midfield. It's 36, Hudson Higbee from the Cannon School. And he's committed to Brown University, Hudson Higbee. Drensick plays it for Hayden Bracht. Bracht attends Ambassador Christian High School in Huntersville, North Carolina. We saw Team 91 Charlotte Blue in our first game this morning. They beat True National Black in their quarterfinal earlier this morning, 5-4, and then in that semifinal, a 6-3 win over Team 91 Long Island Rage. 6 in blue takes a pick, and no backup there for Charlotte Blue. Landry Struble, Charlotte Christian School, product. His right-handed shot off the mark. Our score will remain 0-0. Carson Meredith is the Leading Edge goalie here for half number 1. Attends the Hill School and committed to Dartmouth. Pull along the far sideline in trouble, able to find help in the form of Pierce Bolger. Fresh off a non-public New Jersey championship, a cursed cup earlier this week. It is number 12 in white. Pierce Bolger committed to Brown from Summit, New Jersey, and Del Barton just so happened to beat Summit on Thursday in the Curse Cup final from Kane University. A 1-goal win, if I recall, 8-7 the final. If I recall, that might not be 100% accurate as that shot off the mark from Jack Hendricks, St. Augustine Prep product committed to Delaware. St. Augustine Prep had a good season this past year, competing in the NJ non-public. A loss in the semifinal to Seton Hall Prep, who ended up losing to Del Barton in the NJ non-public final. Team 91 Charlotte across midfield. In and out of the stick of James Pulowski. 10 Charlotte Catholic High School hands it off for Jacob Carlasio. 10's Lake Norman Charter. And Carlasio committed to Anderson University, Division II program in South Carolina. Here's Carlasio. Draws the short stick matchup and passes below GLE. Struble. sticking his right hand, working against 27 in white, Keen Mahoney. Keen, a Chatham product. Chatham falling in the Group 3 sectional final to Summit about a week and a half ago. Ball out of play along the far sideline. Not sure what the momentary stoppage is. 4:37 and counting left here in our first quarter. Team 91 Charlotte Blue making some changes offensively. As we actually do have a penalty. White jersey. It's 27 in white, Keen Mahoney, who I had just called out from Chatham, New Jersey. Heads to the far sideline and takes a knee in the penalty box. 6-on-5, man up here for Charlotte Blue as they work the ball around the perimeter. Carlasio. Now along goal line extended for Stuart Robinson. And a right-handed shot catches the near pipe and caroms all the way out of play along our far sideline. Shot was in and out of the stick of Landry Struble. Struble committed to Monmouth University, attends Charlotte Christian High School. So we're back to all even, 6-on-6 as the leading edge penalty released. Hayden Bracht, Ambassador Christian product. In the stick of Emmerich Drensick. Now along the far wing, Jason Leonard. Leonard, another Charlotte Christian product. Back to Leonard, swung for, that's Bracht. Lost the ball momentarily, but able to recollect. We're inside 3 minutes here in our opening quarter. No score. In our third of 4 games here from the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament, live right here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. Bracht will take his defender one-on-one. Plays it behind and now into the stick of Emmett Drensick. From the point will be Jason Leonard. Draws a short stick matchup with Joe Egan. Plays his high school lacrosse at Red Bank Catholic. Behind for 42 in blue, that's Stuart Robinson. He's committed to Hofstra along Long Island. PLL and the WLL just this past weekend making their stop at Hofstra University along Long Island. As leading edge clears across midfield, Thomas Faubert, representing Bergen Catholic and committed to Division III Dickinson College. Cross midfield and into the stick of Derek Sable. Sable from New Providence, New Jersey, plays his high school lacrosse at Seton Hall Prep. Again, all the players here on this field competing right now, incoming seniors, heading into their senior year this fall. A whistle, and it looks like we're going to get an offside called offensively against leading edge. Minute 30 left here in quarter number 1. Emmett Drensick controls from our near wing, plays it for Jason Leonard at the point, and now swung to the far sideline for Hayden Bracht. Inside a minute as Bracht is stripped. Inside a minute here in quarter number 1, Bracht stripped. He's matched up with the shorty Alex Coakley. Plays his high school lacrosse, Coakley does, at Seton Hall Prep, committed to Georgetown as a short stick defensive midfielder. And a shot in front. Goal scored by Emmett Drensick. Breaks our 0-0 tie. As we're inside 30 seconds to play in our opening quarter. You see Bracht with the nice spin move and a nice cut towards the middle of the field by Drensick, and a nice quick stick finish. Stick side along the hip side of the goalie in cage for leading edge, which is Carson Meredith. Carson Meredith in goal for Leading Edge. As for Team 91 Charlotte Blue, it's Jamison Dow as Charlotte Blue follows up that first goal with another quick goal as we hit the end of quarter number 1. Let's see that replay again, Zach. As Charlotte Blue heads to the first quarter break, a 2-0 lead. Right off the face-off win by James Headley. Let's see, I had taken my eyes off the plate. Has he taken himself? He does. Right-handed finish, stick side high, yes sir. 2-0 lead for Team 91 Charlotte Blue after 10 minutes of lacrosse, and we'll be right back to action for quarter number 2 momentarily. Back here for quarter number 2. As you're watching the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament live right here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe and follow U.S. Club Lax on Instagram for all the latest U.S. Club Lacrosse news and highlights. Certainly a ton of highlights. Also the Crab Feast Tournament Instagram. You can find that by searching Crab Feast on Instagram. I'm not entirely sure what their official tag is. But nonetheless, Team 91 Charlotte Blue comes up with the opening face-off win to kickstart our second quarter. And Team 91 Blue a 2-0 lead by way of 2 late goals in the final minute there of quarter number 1, including a face-off goal right at the end of our first quarter. Leading Edge comes up with the loose ball. Heading the other way is Ty Plotz. Mountain Lakes High School LSM committed to St. John's University. Plotz played just as recently as this past Monday and Tuesday, a Curse Cup quarterfinal win, and then they fell to Del Barton by just a couple of goals in the Curse Cup semifinal. And that Curse Cup is for the state of New Jersey, essentially their replacement of the Tournament of Champions, which was no longer, again, the New Jersey boards of the governors of sports got rid of the Tournament of Champions. Lacrosse coaches decided they wanted to play to one winner. So New Jersey still does. Cursed Cup, the replacement, named after legendary high school head coach Cursed. Handful of Cursts still playing, and not just the collegiate level, the professional level. CJ Kurst, recent Tewaaraton winner. Back-to-back Tewaaraton winners representing Leading Edge. CJ Kurst and Sean Light. Light winning it this past spring for Notre Dame. Played his high school lacrosse at Seton Hall Prep. As Leading Edge tries to get on the board here for the first time in this championship game. Again, this is the class of 2027's incoming seniors championship bracket, championship game. Here's Derek Sable. Takes it himself and gets Leading Edge on the board. No goal? Missed. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Thought I saw Sable celebrating there along the far sideline. He's got the ball along the far sideline, working against the short stick. Here's Jonas Ziv from the Taft School, rings a shot off an orange pipe. Ball caroms all the way to midfield, recovered by Leading Edge. Great ground ball, will keep the possession right here. Harrison Reckemeyer, Westfield High School, committed to Hobart and Smith Colleges. Right-handed shot saved out of the stick of Adrian Kaczynski. And saved by Jamison Dow. So scratch that goal. Still a 2-0 lead for Team 91 Charlotte Blue as they cross midfield, approaching 6 minutes to play in half number 1 of Game 3 of 4 here from Field 8 at the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. Played from Liberty Sports Park. We're just a couple miles outside Washington, D.C., country's capital, as we approach the July 4, 250th anniversary of the United States of America. On this Father's Day, another happy Father's Day to all the dads out there who probably would love to be doing something other than a lacrosse tournament on this beautiful Sunday. Ball on the ground, recovered by Leading Edge. We had whistles as well in Leading Edge given the possession. Joe Egan, Red Bank Catholic product, across midfield looking for help. Finds help at midfield, Patrick O'Neill, representing Ramsey High School. Here's Jack Hendricks, St. Augustine Prep product. So there you go, St. Augustine Prep and Ramsey on pretty much opposite ends of New Jersey. Ramsey all the way north, St. Augustine Prep all the way south, as that right-handed shot fired wide by Hendricks. Nice defense there by Edward Grassi from Episcopal High School. Matched up with Jonas Ziv, representing the Taft School in Connecticut. And a great save by Jamison Dow. And Charlotte Blue comes up with the loose ball. I believe that shot came out of the stick of Patrick O'Neill, the Ramsey midfielder. As Dow approaches midfield, plays it to his right, into the stick of number 82. I don't have a number 82. And I heard him say Grayson. That's what Jamison said as he approached midfield. I don't see it. So we'll just move along with it. 2-0 score, inside 3:30 to play in our first half of the 2027's championship. Team 91 Charlotte Blue looking to add to their 2-goal lead. Great catch and finish there by Jason Leonard. Leonard played his high school lacrosse at Charlotte Catholic. Shot just off the mark. Will keep the possession right here as Charlotte Blue had the backup. Emmett Drensick matched up with the short stick. Right-handed shot saved by Meredith. Dartmouth commit keeps it a 2-goal game. Ty Plotz, St. John's commit across midfield, looking for help in the form of a fellow long pole. And it was 98 Jagger Zemikson, Seton Hall Prep defender, unable to come up with the pass, and Charlotte Blue down the other end. Robinson with the goal. Stuart Robinson makes it a 3-0 lacrosse game as we approach 2 minutes left to play in our first half. Started right there with that loose ball by Henry Brathwaite. From North Carolina is Brathwaite. He's from Raleigh, but plays his high school lacrosse in Connecticut at Avon Old Farms High School. Avon Old Farms High School, excuse me. As Headley comes up with the face-off win. He scored at the end of quarter number 1, fresh off the face-off win right before the end of the first quarter. Loose ball, leading edge comes up with it, and now across midfield. Looking for help is Joe Egan. Zips a pass to his left into the stick of Zemixson. And Zemixson was hounded, finds help in the form of Derek Sable, fellow Seton Hall prep. As we hit the minute mark, inside a minute to play here in half number 1 for the championship game for the 2027 championship bracket. Quinn Hayden, representing Immaculata High School, will take his defender behind goal line extended. Draws the matchup with James Pulowski. The short stick. Hayden. Skip pass in front and a great save by the Charlotte Blue goalie. Jamison Dow keeps leading edge blanked on the scoreboard. Loose ball all the way out to midfield as we're inside 30 seconds here in half number 1. Ball still loose and finally recovered by leading edge. Here's Hayden again from the point. Unsettled situation. Dow well off his goal line. And leading edge able to bury their first goal of this championship game. And that'll bring us to the end of half number 1. 3-1 score as we head to halftime, pardon. We're going to try to see if we can get a replay and the goal scorer there on that unsettled situation goal for leading edge. We'll have a quick 3-minute break here before the start of half number 2. Charlotte Blue, a 3-1 lead after 20 minutes. Here's that last goal. Hayden to number 70, or is that 20 in white? It is number 70 in white, Derek Sable. Seton Hall prep midfielder. Thought he had scored back in quarter number 1. He gets that goal back and gets leading edge on the scoreboard here before the end of our first half. We're going to step aside as you see highlights playing here from half number 1 of the 2027's championship. We'll be back momentarily with half number 2. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Half number 2. Just trying to grab some starters here for those running the tournament for this game. We got 1844, 42, we'll call it. A 3-1 lead after 20 minutes for Team 91 Charlotte Blue, and they'll begin half number 2 of this 2027's championship game with possession of the lacrosse ball. Struble plays it towards the point, hands it off for Jason Leonard. Here's Leonard working east-west, stripped by 42 Alex Coakley. Ball on the ground. And a nice ground ball run down by Keen Mahoney, representing Chatham High School. And down the other way, Leading Edge makes it a 1-goal lacrosse game. And that all started with the great ground ball run down by Keen Mahoney. Looks like Ty Plotz maybe committed to St. John's. You see your start right here with Mahoney. Long pole to long pole is Ty Plotz. And he's going to load up and fire from called about 15 yards from the cage. Long pole goal. We love to see it. Mountain Lakes High School product. 3-2 score just like that to start our second half. And off the face-off win by James Headley. A behind-the-back pass finds his teammate, number 82 in blue. Which, despite now getting an updated roster for the day, I don't have an 82 in blue, unfortunately. So he'll remain nameless through the rest of our championship game as William Hughes controls from our near wing. Swing to the far side for Pike Pryor. He'll play it behind. 85 in blue prodding. And now back up to the point. Ball and stick of Jacob Carlasio. Carlasio will take his defender. Short stick below goal line extended. The defender is Joe Egan. Now back up to the point. Here's Pryor. Hands it back off for William Hughes. Hughes draws the short stick matchup here with Alex Coakley. Coakley again committed to Georgetown and will have one more season, a senior season at Seton Hall Prep. Seton Hall Prep won the 2025 NJ non-public state title. Lost to Del Barton here this season in 2026. Right-handed shot off the mark. I believe that was James Pulowski. Let's see. Nope, excuse me. It was 9 in blue William Hughes with that right-handed shot as he was working towards the far wing. Closest to the ball as it made its way out of play is Team 91 Charlotte Blue. They'll keep the possession right here in their offensive half. Inside 6 minutes to play in our third quarter. Struble will take the pick from Carlasio. Back to Carlasio, below goal line extended. Nice recovery by Keen Mahoney. And now the double team came from Thomas Faubert. Sweeping left to right, and the right-handed shot wide of the near pipe from Landry Struble. Pardon, that was 89 Pike Pryor, I believe. And that shot off the mark will be triggered in from the far corner, 85 in blue. Hit the halfway point. 5 minutes left to play in our third quarter. And 15 minutes left for Team 91 Charlotte Blue and Leading Edge to battle for a championship here from the Crabs Feast Tournament 2026 edition. This is the championship bracket. That pass, I believe, got knocked down, but nonetheless, it'll be a Leading Edge to trigger in from their defensive end line. And what a check by Landry Struble. Joe Egan was trying to one-man clear it across midfield, but Landry Struble with a diving check and dislodged the ball. Unfortunate for Charlotte Blue, unable to come up with the loose ball. Leading Edge will now possess offensively. 4 minutes left to play here in quarter number 3. A one-goal game as Charlotte Blue leads 3-2. An opportunity for Leading Edge to tie the score at 3. Just over 10 minutes left to play. Behind the cage for Piers Bolger. Del Barton product committed to Brown University. Now Quinn Hayden. Hayden uncommitted and plays his lacrosse at Immaculata. Older brother Cole, the all-time leader in points, or I believe he tied that record at Immaculata. Just so happened to broadcast that game last season. Quarterfinal game, Bosco versus Immaculata. Shot by Struble off the mark, and it deflected off a teammate. However, closest to it along the end line was that teammate number 85 in blue. Team 91 Charlotte Blue will keep the possession right here. Inside 3 minutes to play. Here's Emmett Drunsick for Hayden Bracht along the far wing. Takes a pick from Drunsick. And now back to Drunsick along the far wing. He's going to take his defender behind. It's Patrick O'Neill. Short stick matchup. Drunsick to his right. Nice handle by Leonard. Now back to Leonard along the near wing. Through Struble and behind the cage for Garrett Vernon. Plays his high school lacrosse at R.J. Reynolds High School from Louisville, North Carolina. Feed in front and a nice finish by Emmett Drunsick. His second goal of this championship game, and now a 4-2 lead inside 2 minutes left to play in our third quarter. See that replay again, Zach. Here it is. It was a great handle. I think is what needs to be spotlighted before the goal. Nice handle. And then an underhand finish, stick side low, gives Charlotte Blue, Team 91 Charlotte Blue, a 4-2 lead as we approach 1 minute left to play in our third quarter. Ahead of what will be a 10-minute fourth quarter to decide the 2027 champion. Strong check and unable to come up with the loose ball. Charlotte Blue player slow to get to his feet. It is Landry Struble able to get up to his feet, and he'll slowly head towards the sideline. We're inside 1 minute to play here in quarter number 3. Struble was, I believe, going to stay out here for the ride. He'll now jog off towards the far sideline. Thomas Faubert, Bergen Catholic LSM, committed to Dickinson College, will restart play from our near sideline inside 1 minute. And Leading Edge trailing by 2 goals. They'll play it through goalie Carson Meredith. The other goalie on the Leading Edge roster is Will Hayes. Plays his high school lacrosse at the Hun School of Princeton and is committed to Rutgers. And a crease violation called against Leading Edge in our final 30 seconds of quarter number 3. Short time here for Charlotte Blue, inside 20 seconds. Chase Covey looking for help, and now will head off the field. Strong dodge here by Emmett Drunsick, trying to score his hat-trick goal just off the mark. Inside 5 seconds, long pass downfield saved. We'll call it by Jamison Dow. He'll send a shot down the other direction and off the mark. That will end our third quarter. Team 91 Charlotte Blue, a 4-2 lead after 30 minutes of lacrosse. We will step aside momentarily. 10 more minutes here from Field 8 at Liberty Sports Park, looking to decide the 2027 champion for the Crab Feast Tournament, the 2026 edition. Live right here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. Don't go anywhere. Quarter number 4, right on the other side of this quick break. And we're back here for quarter number 4, ladies and gentlemen. 10 more minutes to decide a 2027 champion here at the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. Team 91 Charlotte Blue, a 4-2 lead over leading edge Lacrosse. Charlotte Blue has scored a ton of goals here in this tournament. They scored 38 goals yesterday in 3 pool play games and allowed just 3, including a 11-0 shutout win over Thunder Orange. 11-0, 13-1, and 14-2 the finals for Team 91 Charlotte Blue yesterday. As for leading edge, they won 9-2 over Team Minnesota yesterday, 9-1 over Team Illinois, and 7-1 versus Team 91 Virginia Gold. And then took down Crabs in the quarterfinal. Let me see if I can get you a semifinal score for the 2027s, the bracket. Let's see it. Leading edge, 6-4 win over Orange Crush in their semifinal, 5-3 win over Crabs in their quarterfinal. And now just under 9 minutes left here in this championship game. Charlotte Blue looking to add to their 2-goal lead. Right-handed shot off the mark. I believe that was Landry Struble, who was working from below GLE. And now Emmett Drensick from the far sideline. Nice job protecting his stick from the overhead attempt by Ty Plotz, who was stride for stride with him. And now Leonard from the far sideline draws the matchup with Joe Egan. Nice job defensively by Plotz to disrupt that pass. And now back to Plotz, the Mountain Lakes product across midfield. Finds Jaggers Emmikson. One more, and we've got a 1-goal lacrosse game. Adrian Kaczynski, a Hill School product from Santa Monica, California. The only non-East Coast player on this leading edge squad. Makes it 4-3. Inside 7:30 left to play. A lot of room, able to step into it. Bounce shot off stick side. 4-3 Charlotte Blue lead as we approach 7 minutes left to play. Kaczynski committed to Fairfield, so he'll stay here on the East Coast. Charlotte Blue possessing below goal line extended. Ball on the stick of, that's Hayden Bracht. And now up to the point for Drensick. To the far wing for Leonard. Skip pass across. Back to Bracht. As we approach 6 minutes left to play, a 1-goal lead for Team 91 Charlotte Blue. Back and forth, leading edge doing a good job clawing their way back into this one. Here's Drensick from the point. Draws the short stick matchup. Number 21 in white, Cooper DuBois. Committed to LIU, plays his high school lacrosse at Scotch Plains Fanwood. Drensick able to get a step or two on him and stings this corner. Great goal there for Drensick. It's his hat-trick goal for the Charlotte Catholic product. Gives his team a 2-goal lead as we approach 5 minutes left to play. What a goal there for Drensick. I want to see that one again as I took my eyes off it momentarily. And I do have some college coaches as well just setting up here for the next game. They're kind of blocking my view of the goal. See that load up and fire, not a corner. Instead, just caught some pipe along the far pipe. 5-3 lead now for Charlotte Blue. Another face-off win for James Headley. Right to cage, and that's his second of this afternoon's championship game. And now a 6-3 lead for Team 91 Charlotte Blue. Another Charlotte Catholic product. Now 5 of 6 goals scored by both Headley and Drensick. 2 for the face-off man Headley. Hat trick for Drensick. And Stuart Robinson has that 6th goal. A 3-goal lead for Charlotte Blue as we approach 4 minutes left to play. The 2027 championship on the line here from the 2026 Crabs Feast tournament. Ball skied up into the air and recovered by Leading Edge. We'll get a whistle. Some sort of infraction there called against Leading Edge will give Charlotte Blue the possession right back. Might have been a Leading Edge player. It was the far sideline official that whistled it dead. Possibly an attackman stepped out of the box too early. Out of the restraining box, that is. Or maybe a loose ball push again, having some coaches setting up here along midfield, blocking my line of sight of the Leading Edge goal. Nonetheless, 6-3 lead for Charlotte Blue, and they are in no rush as we approach 3 minutes left to play. Drensick has a hat trick already on the day, draws a whistle. An infraction called against Charlotte Blue, possibly a ward or something off ball. Gifts the possession back to Leading Edge. They trail by 3 goals. Now an opportunity to try to get back into this one. Nice job by Adrian Kaczynski to keep the ball in play and protect that possession. Here's Derek Sable, Seton Hall Prep midfielder out of the substitution box. Has a goal in this championship game. Trying to flip it back for Kaczynski. He's going to have to try to race it to midfield. Doesn't get there in time. Ball across midfield, over and back. Gives the ball back to Charlotte Blue. Unsettled situation in transition here. Let's see if Team 91 Charlotte Blue wants to press the agenda with a 3-goal lead. They don't. Stuart Robinson, already a goal here in this championship game, will run below goal line extended. And now play it for 85 in blue, who races towards midfield and hands it off for Jason Leonard. Two minutes left here in the 2027 championship game. Here from Liberty Sports Park, just outside Washington, D.C., the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. You're watching live right here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. An RD Plex production. It's Team 91 Charlotte Blue looking to win the first of two champions that will be crowned here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube. Leonard adds one more. Jason Leonard, Charlotte Catholic product, adds his first goal in this championship contest and a 7-3 lead for Charlotte Blue as we tick down towards a minute left to play. As the college coaches begin to line the sideline here ahead of the 2028 Elite Championship. Headley with another face-off win. Quick shot from the far sideline. In and out of the stick of Landry Struble, looking for his first goal on the afternoon. 50 seconds left to play. Whistles. And a timeout called by one of our two teams. We'll send both teams to the sidelines. 40 seconds left on our fourth quarter game clock as the game to follow. Someone came over and handed me rosters. Where did I put them? It'll be Leading Edge 2028 Elite and Advanced Black 2028 Elite. We'll see that one here in a couple of moments after this one ends. It was set for a 12:10 start. It is 12:09, so I imagine they will give us a minute or two in between. We shall see. We still have 40 seconds left here for the 2027 championship. 7-3 lead for Team 91 Charlotte Blue. And it was a Charlotte Blue timeout. Number 82 in blue will kickstart out of the timeout from the near sideline. It splits two white jerseys, loses the ball momentarily, but able to recollect. And now running away from defenders, it's Keen Mahoney trailing. And here is Chase Covey. He'll run all the way to the far sideline in front of the Team 91 Charlotte Blue bench. Inside 10 seconds as Team 91 Charlotte Blue are your 2026 Crab Feast champions for the class of 2027, the incoming seniors. A great tournament for Team 91 Charlotte Blue 2027. They end it with a title to bring back to Charlotte, North Carolina. What a contest between these two teams, and we got to see Team 91 Charlotte Blue in both the semifinal and championship. As that'll do it here for the 2027 championship. You can stick it right here as they will receive their championship trophy momentarily. And in a couple moments, as I mentioned, the 2028 Elites Advance Black and Leading Edge 2028 Elites will follow. So make sure to tune in just a couple moments for that championship game. But you can keep it right here to see Team 91 Charlotte Blue awarded their title. I am going to step aside. You might see some replays as well in between games and before you see that championship trophy handed out. But for Ryan Holzbus and Zach Morgan, Ryan DePaul handling the production here, we're going to step aside here for game 3 of 4, our fourth and final game on the other side. And you're seeing it right now. Team 91 Charlotte Blue, your 2027's champions, receiving their shirts. So my apologies, no championship plaque or trophy or anything like that. Just some shirts to commemorate a big victory for Team 91 Charlotte Blue here on this Sunday, Father's Day, here from the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. And now the 2028 championship for the 2028 Elites is underway. Advance NDP Black 2028 Elite taking on Leading Edge Lacrosse 2028 Elite. So Leading Edge pushing two teams to the championships for both the incoming seniors 2027 and the incoming juniors 2028 Elites. Advance NDP Black is in all blue, so we'll just go with Advance NDP or Advance for the rest of the broadcast. All blue with the black helmets. Leading Edge in the white jerseys, white shorts, and red helmets. Great save there by the Leading Edge goalie. Is number 5 in cage? We'll get him in a sec. It's number 5, Seamus Gorman, in between the pipes for Leading Edge as Advance strikes first. Number 23 for Advance, George Malkiel from Jesuit High School gets Leading Edge on the board to start this championship game, just a minute and a half in. As he starts from below goal line, extended, and a nice left-hand finish gives Advance an early 1-0 lead 2 minutes through our opening quarter. Advance too early on the draw. Leading Edge now in offensive possession to try to get that goal back. Teddy Whitehouse from along the far sideline. Teddy Whitehouse plays his high school lacrosse at Rumson Fairhaven. Rumson fell in the Group 1 New Jersey State Final. What was that, 2 weeks ago already? Or last weekend it was Mountain Lakes, the New Jersey Group 1 champ. Leading Edge, hailing from Metuchen, New Jersey, represented by a lot of the top high schools in the area. Del Barton, Seton Hall Prep, the Lawrenceville School, Westfield, Scotch Plains Fanwood, mentioned Rumson Fairhaven for Teddy Whitehouse, Mountain Lakes and Summit. Even Liam Onofre from Don Bosco Prep, short stick defensive midfielder. As for Advance, players from all over, mainly from the Baltimore area. Have an IMG player, even have a Garden City player as well, Ben Smith. Leading Edge trying to get a goal on the board to tie us up at 1. Left-handed shot from the far wing from Teddy Whitehouse. Off the mark, no backup for Leading Edge. We'll give Advance the possession from their own defensive end line. 4 minutes through our opening quarter. Here in game 4 of 4 from the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. This is the 2028 Elites Championship Bracket Championship. As all 29 teams in 7 groups, the top 8 teams advanced to this championship bracket. The rest of the teams made up other brackets here on our final day of the Crab Feast Tournament. Here for the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. Top 8 teams advanced to this championship bracket after playing 3 games yesterday. And then for these 2 championship teams, they played 3 games today. So a total of 6 games for these 2 championship teams. Advance throws the ball away along our near sideline. And a flag down will send a Leading Edge player to the penalty box. Looks like number 10, Noah Brown, representing Scotch Plains Fanwood, will take a kneel down in the penalty box. 6-on-5, man advantage opportunity here for Advance. Opportunity to take a 2-goal lead here in our first quarter. So we're past the midway point, inside 5 minutes to play in quarter number 1. Pass in front. Great save by Gorman. The Lawrenceville goalie comes up huge with a great save and then taken down to the turf along the end line. He's able to recover and get in between the goal pipes. Ball still on the ground, recovered by Advance. But a great save by Seamus Gorman. Keep the score 1-0. And I believe we are back to all even. We are 6-on-6 as we approach the 4-minute mark in quarter number 1. Enzio Federizzi from the Lake Ridge High School will take his defender below goal line extended. That's Michael Marino from Rumson Fairhaven. Shot in front, saved by Seamus Gorman. And now stripped, trying to get across midfield was Onofre. Leading edge able to get it to their attack. Back in the stick of Liam Onofre from Don Bosco Prep. Played along goal line extended for Marino momentarily. He'll now head to the sideline to get an offensive player on the field. And now all the way to the point for Danny Verone. Plays his high school lacrosse at Christian Brothers Academy in New Jersey. Back to Verone. Play to the far sideline for Whitehouse. And back to Verone on the give and go. His right-handed shot just wide of the goal. Sam Jimenez will trigger in from the near sideline. He wears 86 in white. Here's William Childs, another Bridgewater Raritan high school player. Back to Jimenez. His shot saved. For Advance, it is Jake Kolklischer, the goalie. Looks like he caught that shot in the midsection. A little bit slow to recover. So much so our official went and checked on him to make sure he's okay. What a save there by Kolklischer. Loomis Chaffee High School to keep the 1-0 lead for Advance. And now they look to add to it as we approach 2 minutes left to play in quarter number 1. It's George Malkiel sticking his left hand. See, he goes north of the restraining box and now possessing along the far sideline. It's Everett Kincaid, representing Jesuit High School, who will take his defender below goal line extended. Great turnout as well here at the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. Both obviously from the teams and the collegiate coaches here to recruit. Also the parents coming out here on Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. And it was a beautiful Sunday as well. Sun out and shining. Couple clouds painting the sky. Perfect day for lacrosse. Light breeze as well. Behind the back attempt, just off the mark. And the ball to play along the end line. Closest to it on the shot is Leading Edge. They'll now clear through goalie Seamus Gorman. Adam Churkin to the middle of the field for Julian Colon. And Colon, his pass sails over the head of Teddy Whitehouse along the far sideline. Unforced turnover, and Advance will take over from their defensive third. 30 seconds left to play in our opening quarter here in our fourth and final game, streaming live right here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. It's the championship game for the 2028 Elites here at the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament from the Liberty Sports Park in Brock Hall, Maryland. You're watching us live on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and follow on Instagram, U.S. Club Lax. triple zeros on our scoreboard, and that'll end our first quarter. 1-0 lead for Advance. The goal scored by George Malkiel. So we'll have 30 more minutes here from Liberty Sports Park to decide a 2028 Elite Champion. We'll keep it right here through this timeout, this quarter break. For the 2028 Elites, Leading Edge, the number 1 rated team per the U.S. Club Lacrosse ratings, Team 91, Advance for the 2020 Elite Division is not in the top 10. They came out of the bracket as the number 2 ranked team. Leading Edge, number 1 out of pool play yesterday. So Leading Edge, the number 1 ranked team. Advance outside the top 10, and they lead 1-0. And again, quick quarter breaks. We're right back to action here. Face-off between Zuva Chakavva at a Newark Academy. My apologies if I'm mispronouncing that. And for Advance, face-off taken by number 76 in blue. They gave me an updated roster. I unfortunately do not have a number 76 in blue. The face-off men for Advance are Nicholas DiPiazza as well as Cash Costello. Great save by Seamus Gorman. Keeps it at a 1-goal deficit, and now Leading Edge across midfield. In the stick of Mason Warwick, representing St. Joseph Prep. Would assume that's St. Joseph Metuchen, not St. Joseph Regional. And now Reed Bolger, Del Barton product from midfield. Plays it for Max Holda, also a Del Barton product. And now a third Del Barton product, Jack McGinn. Plays it behind. Quickly swung to the near-high corner of the restraining box for Reed Bolger. He works his way through his defender, and his shot saved by Kolklischer, who is still in between the pipes for Advance. And we'll expect that we'll see the other goalie, I believe it was Lee, Parker Lee, for half number 2. That's what we saw in the semifinal. Parker Lee take over to start the second half. Here's Chris Davies for Leading Edge, Summit High School. Fresh off a Cursed Cup tournament run this past week. Semifinal win on Tuesday over Ridgewood, and then fell in the championship to Del Barton by a goal. It's either 9-8 or 8-7 was the final on Thursday from Kane University. Ball on the ground, scooped up, and heading the other way is Axton Rutherford from Summit High School. So you even get teammates going head-to-head here in this 2026 Crab Feast tournament, representing different club programs. Beckett Ritzer, swim move on his defender, keeps the stick, I believe, in his left hand, and Advance takes a 2-0 lead. We'll iron out the details on that goal when we see the replay here momentarily. But nonetheless, we approach 7 minutes to play in our first half. Advance takes a 2-0 lead. And it was Ritzer splitting back to his left in the Bellevue Lacrosse Club product. Makes it 2-0 Advance. And a scrum for the loose ball following the face-off. Advance will recover. Connor Thompson comes up with that, Nicholas DiPiazza comes up with that ground ball and an unforced turnover as he sails a pass over the head of Drew Christensen. And leading edge trying to press the agenda the other way. Unable to come up with the pass was Max Melchioni. Melchioni, a Del Bar and LSM. And advance will now look to clear to midfield. So we are 3.5 minutes through quarter number 2. Here's Thompson. Thompson scored 3 goals, a hat trick in the semifinal. And he adds his first here in this championship game. Gives Advance a 3-0 advantage with 6 minutes left to play in our first half. Took it all the way himself from midfield. Sticking his right hand and put it back in his left as he sweeps from the far sideline to the middle of the field. Sneaks that pass, or that shot, past Seamus Gorman in a 3-0 lead for, you could call them the underdogs. Advance came into this championship bracket out of pool play as the number 2 seed. Leading Edge was the top seeded team out of pool play yesterday. Advance scored 30 goals in pool play yesterday. As for Leading Edge, they tallied also 30 goals, allowed just 4. Advance allowed just 6 goals yesterday in the 3 pool play games. And now Thompson will control from midfield, the most recent goal scorer. Matched up with the short stick, Kellen Winters. Rumson Fairhaven product slips down to his feet. Double team came quickly from Max Sinnis, Haddonfield Memorial High School. And now Nick Hansen. He represents Berkshire School. In a collision there on the pick. Kellen Winters able to recover and stay in the play. Working to his left. Left-handed shot off the mark from Nick Hansen. And Gorman will control the loose ball in his crease. Brady Shim, Haddonfield High School, to midfield. Hands it off for Mason Warwick. And Warwick able to get across midfield. So we approach 4 minutes to play here in our first half. Warwick carries behind and draws a flag. Likely a slash going to come against Advance. So delayed penalty here for Leading Edge. And a pending 6-on-5. So we're inside 4 minutes to play in our first half. So Leading Edge can be meticulous with this offensive possession. Try to get the look that they want ahead of a man-up opportunity. Right-handed shot into the back of the net. Give it to Danny Verone. CBA product gets Leading Edge on the board for the first time here in this 2028 Elite Championship game. Receives the skip pass. And then just a jab step on his defender. Back to Verone. Right-handed shot finds the back pipe. And past goalie Jake Kolklischer for Advance. And back to the face-off stripe. 3 minutes left to play in half number 1. A 3-1 lead for Advance. An opportunity here for Leading Edge to try to scratch another goal back. Chris Davies carries below GLE, hands it off for Mason Warwick along the near sideline, and now Max Holda from the point. Play it to his left, far wing for Reed Bolger. Back to Holda, to Del Bar and Products. Holda will set up his dodge versus the short stick. That's Teo Tagavilla. And again, my apologies if I'm announcing any names incorrectly. Did not have time to review ahead of this morning into this afternoon's games, or obviously today. Not much time in the lead up. We have allotted 10 minutes in between games, but it's become more like 2 or 3 in between games. So my apologies if any names are being pronounced incorrectly. Advance looking to clear from their defensive third inside 2 minutes to play in half number 1. Brady Galligan plays it across midfield into the stick of Drew Lorang. Drew Lorang, a St. Francis High School product. Pass picked off by Leading Edge, and now Leading Edge heading the other way. Credit Brady Shim with that interception for Leading Edge. Here's Holda, runs over a defender, draws a flag. So I believe 2 delayed penalties. We had a delayed penalty before. We have 2 flags out there now. Inside our final minute to play here in half number 1. Leading Edge trying to grab another one back to claw their way back into this one. Currently trailing by 2 goals. Right on the doorstep, Jack McGinn. A great save by Kolklischer. And with that save, it'll bring us to the penalty. 40 seconds and counting here in half number 1. Leading Edge should have some time here prior to the end of our first half to work with to try to, again, grab a goal back and make it a 1-goal game. Currently a 2-goal deficit inside 30 seconds. "15 seconds here for Leading Edge. And it looks like they want to start half number 2 with possession and a man up for some short time. So we'll head to halftime. Advance NDP Black 2028 Elite, a 3-1 lead over Leading Edge 2028. And we'll step aside for a quick break here for this quick halftime. Live right here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel, you are watching the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament, the 2028 Elite Championship game. Back here, ladies and gentlemen, from the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament, our final half of lacrosse here in our 4th and final game that we've streamed live right here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. Advance NDP Black 2028 Elite, a 3-1 lead over Leading Edge 2028 Elite with 20 more minutes of lacrosse left to decide a 2028 Elite champion here from the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. Each team played 3 games yesterday across a handful of classes. Let me get my phone out and list them all off to you. You had one 2027 pool group, and I'm just going to refer to them as groups here as I list them off. 2 2028s, one 2029, 2 2030s, 1 2031, 2 2032s, we call it 2 2031s, I think 2 all the way down the board, all the way to 2034. So that's 33, 34, 32. 2027s were the only team that had one group of 33 teams. Other than that, this has been a massive tournament put on by U.S. Club Lacrosse. Make sure to go follow them on Instagram at US Club Lax. And subscribe right here on YouTube to our U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel for highlights, game streams for future games. I will shout out the Lacrosse World Series, both for the boys and girls, happening in about a week and a half or so. Be from Conshohocken, Pennsylvania. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. We'll have to get it perfected there before July 2nd and 3rd for the Lacrosse World Series. And the championships to be played from Penn University. That'll be on July 2nd for the boys, July 3rd for the girls, a semifinal or two semifinal games in the championship apiece. Leading Edge trailing by 2 goals, 3-1 lead here for Advance to start our second half. As William Childs will control from behind, hand it off now for Danny Verone. He has the lone Leading Edge goal here in this 2028 Elite Championship game. Stripped was Reed Bolger. And out of play along the near sideline, it will be Leading Edge ball. Nice defense by Drew Lorang, representing St. Francis High School. And it looks like a change here. The referees changed their minds. Advance will take over in their defensive third. And taking over in cage for Advance is Parker Lee, wearing 15 in blue. 10-man ride from Leading Edge. Lee will send a shot all the way downfield. Off the mark, but it is a shot closest to it. Advance, they'll keep the possession here offensively. That is one thing that has been considered across all levels of lacrosse, whether that will count, that essentially long clear, but it was a shot on an empty goal, whether that will in fact be a shot going forward. But for now it is. So Advance will keep the possession here, leading by 2. We're approaching 4 minutes through our third quarter. That was Jax Kirchmer, representing the IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. His shot was off the mark. At least I believe it was Kirchmer. It was, 87 in blue. And now from behind the cage, it's Enzio Fedrizzi. Ball on the ground, and we get a whistle. It's going to be a hold called against Leading Edge. We'll keep the possession right here with Advance. Here's Beckett Ritzer. Now quickly behind. And Advance has a short stick matchup. It's Sam Matalucci, representing Folsom High School. Ball on the ground, big collision. As Michael Marino, the Rumson Fairhaven defensive midfielder, laid a big hit and I believe draws a flag, and he will head off and take a kneel down in the penalty box. High hit there from Marino. As the ball is on the ground, you see it there, high hit above the chest area. Officials are trying to keep this a clean, safe game. It'll be a 6-on-5 man advantage here for Advance. And it will be an unreleasable 2-minute penalty. Inside 5 minutes to play, Advance a 2-goal lead. So an opportunity, really good opportunity here to not just add one more to their lead, but it'll be a non-releasable. So they'll stay man up for the next 2 minutes. Which again, it is running clock, so that 2 minutes will go by quickly. Played behind as Advance pings the ball around the perimeter. George Malkiel got Advance on the scoreboard to start this championship game. Pass in front. That was to a cutting Advance player. Now the ball loose. Malchione with a great, call that a hockey to himself, and trying to find a teammate, unable to connect along the far sideline. But a nice clear there by Malchione and Leading Edge. At minimum, trims some time off that penalty clock. And forces Advance to reset, starting with a clear from their defensive half. goalie Parker Lee plays it across midfield into the stick of Nick Hansen. George Malkiel will carry below goal line extended. And again, apologies on any mispronunciations here throughout the 4 games here today on Father's Day. Looking for help as he approaches midfield was Liam Onofre. Nice pass to our near sideline, finds Kellen Winters. And now the ball on the stick of an attackman. It's Samuel Del Moro, representing Seton Hall Prep. Here's Mason Warwick. Carries below goal line extended and hands off. It's to Teddy Whitehouse, and now to the far sideline. William Childs will carry to the middle of the field. Has a short stick matchup with 25 in blue, Miles Johnson. He represents Oak Ridge High School. Nice pass in front, and he rings it off a crossbar. William Childs, or excuse me, that was Danny Verone looking for goal number 2 on the afternoon. And then stripped from behind was Samuel Del Moro. Nice trail check by the advanced defender. And now ball on the ground. Teddy Whitehouse able to recover the loose ball. Had whistles, thought it was from our game, but it's not. We'll play on here as we're inside 2 minutes here in quarter number 3. 3-1 lead for Advanced NDP Black 2028 Elite. As William Childs will possess from midfield. Dodges to his left, stick in his left hand, flies right by Miles Johnson. As leading edge pings it behind the cage, feed in front. Sam Jimenez unable to get a shot on goal. Feed back in front, found the stick of William Childs. His shot off the mark, and the ball out of play. I think they're calling it a loose ball, and Advance will take over, trigger in from the end line. Nice handle there by Miles Johnson. One-handed catch with a stick in the right hand as he's stripped here along midfield. Nice check there and a nice ride by Samuel Del Moro. And that'll gift the possession right back to Leading Edge inside a minute here in our 3rd quarter. Leading Edge trailing by 2 goals. Mason Warwick, the St. Joseph Metuchen product, will re-enter play. Hands it off for Del Moro, fresh off that fantastic ride. And now Jack McGinn. Del Barton Green Wave. Fresh off 2 titles this season. They didn't win the Morris County Championship. That was won by Chatham over Del Barton, but Del Barton took home the NJ non-public title as well as the Curse Cup Championship. Ball on the ground, great check, and then a big collision along our near sideline. Emmett Coyle, a Marion Catholic product, is the advanced defender. And then he took a big collision. However, Advance able to come up with the loose ball. Ball to play along the end line behind the Leading Edge goal. We'll get 000s on our Field 8 scoreboard. A 3-1 lead for Advance NDP Black. There's that collision. Wasn't as big of a collision as I thought in real time. Max Holda coming together with, I believe that was Emmett Coyle. 4 in blue it was. So 10 more minutes of lacrosse here from the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. Advance and Leading Edge representing the 2028 Elites battling for the championship. This will be our 4th and final game, so our final quarter here from Liberty Sports Park in Brock Hall, Maryland. We're just outside Washington, D.C. for the 2028 Crab Feast Tournament. Fantastic tournament, 2-day event. Culminates to this Father's Day championship slate. Another happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Make sure to subscribe to the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. That's where you're watching us live right now. And follow us on Instagram, U.S. Club Lax, for highlights from today's event as well as some highlights from yesterday. Catch more information as well for future events. And then you can also follow the Crab Feast tournament on Instagram as well. Let me go get you the exact tag for the Crab Feast Instagram. It is Crab Feast Lax. It's the official Crab Feast tournament page. A lot of highlights from yesterday. You'll probably get a lot more highlights from today as we have 10 more minutes to decide a 2028 Elite Champion. Advance leads Leading Edge by a score of 3-1. We'll start right here with the face-off. Won by Leading Edge, Zuva Chikava from Newark Academy. Max Holda, Del Barton product, comes up with the loose ball. His shot off the mark, and the run out won by Leading Edge. Patrick Smith, representing Westfield High School, will trigger in from the end line as he won the run out to the end line following that Leading Edge shot. Now Jack McGinn, another Del Barton product from the point, plays catch with Max Sinnis. Here's McGinn. Plays it behind for Patrick Smith. In front, and a nice save by Parker Lee. Keeps the score at 3-1, advance on top. So we're a minute through our fourth quarter. Drew Lorang trying to connect with a long pole. Axton Rutherford, Summit product in the middle of the field. Summit, the New Jersey Group 3 champs, and fell on Thursday in the Curse Cup final. Michael Marino across midfield, trailed by his defender, Connor Thompson. And a long pole goal. Took my eyes off it momentarily. Max Melchioni, representing Del Barton High School, makes it a one-goal lacrosse game. 3-2 advance leads as we approach 2 minutes through our fourth quarter. Long pole goal for Melchioni. A 3-2 score with 8 minutes left to play. And a violation on the faceoff called against advance. Leading Edge will take over. Liam Manafre will start with it. Manafre hands it off for Patrick Smith. Now from the point, Teddy Whitehouse. Swung to the far side for Sam Jimenez. This is William Childs from the far sideline. Childs matched up with Drew Christensen. Christensen representing Monte Vista High School. Nice skip pass in front, and Leading Edge ties the score at 3 with 7 minutes left to play. Danny Verone, CBA product, his second goal of this championship. All tied up at 3 inside 7 minutes left to play. Great feed in front from Teddy Whitehouse in a quick catch and release. Parker Lee got a piece of it. Here's the goal prior, Melchioni. I think Leo might have gotten a piece of that as well. So 2 goals that hit off the plastic of the stickhead of Parker Lee. All tied up at 3, approaching 6 minutes left to play. Loose ball following the faceoff. Thought Leading Edge was going to come away with it. And able to, I should say. Kellen Winters plays it for Teddy Whitehouse. 6 minutes left, and we're all tied up at 3. Here in the 2028 Elites Championship game as part of the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. Bunch of incoming juniors fresh off their sophomore seasons, trying to win a championship here at the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. The top 2 teams out of the 2028 pool play from yesterday. And Leading Edge, a chance here to take their first lead in this championship game. 5:30 left to play. To the point for Jack McGinn. McGinn dodging down the near right alley. Carries below goal line extended and then plays it behind the cage for Patrick Smith, who comes north of GLE. Quick shot, that might have hit the near pipe or off the outside of the goal netting. Nonetheless, Parker Lee in between the goal pipes comes up with the loose ball in his goalie crease. De La Salle High School is where Parker Lee attends. Across midfield is Beckett Ritzer. He's going to get whistled for a ward as he made his way across midfield. Turnover, and Leading Edge will head the other way. Ball on the stick of Chris Davies, who plays it to the point for Jack McGinn. Leading Edge making some changes offensively, as Sam Jimenez jogs to the middle of the field. 4:20 left to play in a tie game here in our fourth and final contest here from the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. William Childs will dodge down the far alley, sticking his left hand, plays it behind, swung back to the near side for Teddy Whitehouse. Again, feed in front, finds Chris Davies, 4 unanswered here for Leading Edge, and they take a 4-3 lead inside 4 minutes left to play. Almost identical to the last goal. As the ball makes its way to Teddy Whitehouse along the near wing. And his feed in front finds a cutter, this time stick side along the hip of Parker Lee. Gives Leading Edge a 4-3 lead. And I believe 4 unanswered. Not keeping track as goals are getting scored, but I believe 4 unanswered here for Leading Edge to take a 1-goal lead. Ball out of play along the far sideline. Michael Marino will race towards midfield and plays it for Brady Shim, Haddonfield product, long pole, who enters the restraining box looking for help. 3 minutes left to play. See if Leading Edge decides to use a timeout here. We're inside 3 minutes. A 1-goal lead for Leading Edge Lacrosse. Instead, William Childs will take his defender one-on-one. Trips to the ground, able to regain his footing. Back to Childs. Childs is matched up with Drew Lorang. Now Danny Verone from the far wing up towards midfield. Draws the matchup with the long pole, Emmett Coyle. Verone jogs now to the near alley, plays it behind for Patrick Smith. As Leading Edge pins the ball around the perimeter. Back to the stick of William Childs. Now down the far alley, stick in his left hand, bounce shot goes, and a 5-3 lead for Leading Edge. 5 unanswered. First goal of the championship game for William Childs, Bridgewater Raritan High School product. Gives Leading Edge a 5-3 lead with a $1:30 left to play in the 2028 Elite Championship game. Stick in his left hand, bounce shot goes. 5-3 game. Minute 15 left to play. Early on the face-off is Leading Edge. It was Jaden Hernando, Mountain Lakes product, taking that face-off. Now advance quickly the other way. Bounce shot on the other end for Connor Thompson. Second goal of this championship game makes it a 1-goal contest. Since we're inside or within a 2-goal margin, inside a minute 59 seconds left to play, our clock will stop on all stoppages that warrant it. Clock currently stopped at 59 seconds. And back to the face-off stripe. Zuva Chakabva facing off against, that was 76 in blue. I don't have a name for him. Unfortunately, a violation on the face-off called against Advance. Leading Edge with a 1-goal lead will now look to run out some clock. 50 seconds left here from the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. Max Holda running away from defenders. Parker Lee is out of his cage. Playing 6-on-7 now. McGinn running away from defenders, looking for help. Now curl back towards the end line, sticking his left hand. Back to his right. Inside 20 seconds. McGinn looking for help, finds it in the form of Chris Davies along the far sideline towards midfield. Back to Smith. Now played behind. Bouncing ball inside 10 seconds. That's going to all but do it. Leading Edge 2028 Elite are the 2028 Elite champions here from the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. 5 unanswered before Advance grabbed one more back. A 5-4 finish. Leading Edge, your 2026 Crab Feast Tournament champs for the 2028 Elite bracket. Goal scorers for Leading Edge, 2 for Danny Verone and a goal apiece for Chris Davies, William Childs, and Max Melchioni. As we'll see some replays here for Advance. 2 goals for Connor Thompson and a goal apiece for Beckett Ritzer, as well as George Malkiel. He scored the first goal of this afternoon's championship game. Momentarily, Leading Edge will receive their championship t-shirts. As that wraps up 4 streamed games live right here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube channel. Live here from the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament from Liberty Sports Park just outside Washington, D.C. in Maryland. What a great tournament. Great 4 contests we got to see live right here from Field 8 at Liberty Sports Park. That was a great behind-the-back attempt saved by Leading Edge goalie Seamus Gorman. As Leading Edge, the 2027 group lost in the 3rd game that we streamed. That was the game prior. It was Team 91 Charlotte Blue, the 2027 champs. Leading Edge, the 2028 Elite champions here from the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. Fantastic contest. All 4 games were competitive. And the ultimate goal, trying to get some of these kids recruited. All of these guys, juniors, some of them might already have some offers. Some of them already have probably made some commitments, but handful of names still looking for a home in 2 years' time. Not this coming fall, but the following fall. A great contest, great handful of games here from the Crab Feast Tournament. That shot caught the far pipe. Big collision. That drew a penalty prior. Fantastic contest here from start to finish. Great 4 games. Momentarily, Leading Edge will receive their jerseys, and another game to follow right here on Field 8 as each field preparing for contests. I believe 1 or 2 more game slots here on this Sunday, Father's Day. As ladies and gentlemen, that will wrap it up for us. Fantastic 4 games. We're staying right here, Zach?
We're staying right here until we get the t-shirts out.
We can get the t-shirts. Thank you, Zach, for that info. Leading Edge, your champ. But my name, Ryan Holzbus, joined by Zach Morgan, producer. Cameraman Ryan DePaul of RD Plex Films. This was an RD Plex production live right here on the U.S. Club Lacrosse YouTube page. Make sure to subscribe and follow U.S. Club Lax on Instagram. Your champs, Team 91 Charlotte Blue for the class of 2027. Leading Edge Lacrosse for the class of 2028 Elite Championship bracket. as they get their championship shirts there along the far sideline. Great recruiting contest. Hopefully some phone calls that these kids will be receiving in the coming days and weeks from some interested college coaches. I want to thank you all for tuning in from wherever you may be, watching and listening alongside us. So that's going to wrap it up for us here live from the 2026 Crab Feast Tournament. Again, for Ryan Holzbus, Ryan DePaul, and Zach Morgan, have a great rest of your Sunday. Father's Day, beautiful day for it, and another happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. Have a great rest of your Sunday and a great rest of your weekend. We'll talk to you on the next U.S. Club Lacrosse broadcast. Have a great rest of your Sunday.